There's no honor among thieves in the first place. He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work. They got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Woo! I tore them all down, and I came here for one reason: to attack and keep coming.
I did it for the Rock.
You will rest in peace.
I asked you 1,000,000 times to join the NWO, where you would be for life.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty.
Bang, bang. And what you gonna do when Hulkamania run wild on you?
And that's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so.
Yeah! Fire! I will ride in nothing but limousines, and I will make love to nothing but the best looking women in the world.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
You will know that your ass is mine.
Bang, bang.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. You got a championship belt? I don't.
That's right, I'm a Paul Heyman guy.
When Ric Flair's in town, showtime. Woo!
Sweet. My belly's just a little big, my hand is just a little big, but brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
Beat me if you can. Survive if I let you.
Orderly!
Woo! It is Rolex time.
Quote the Raven.
You just made the list!
Who's you beat, brother?
Did you dig that? Sucker! I am the game!
The whole show.
If I can be serious for a minute.
You son of a bitch! Brock Lesnar! Damn!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. Oh, you didn't know?
I mean, you're the Donald Trump of wrestling. You make Steven Spielberg look like a guy running 8mm films in a garage someplace.
Will you stop?
You don't want to recognize my belt, huh? You don't recognize my belt. I think you're a liar. I think you're a flat out, straight up, lying, crying bitch.
Going on, everybody? That's right. We are living in America. Had to play that. You guys obviously know why. I don't have to tell you. I will in a minute. Excuse me. I will in a minute, though. How's everybody doing tonight? I am doing wonderful. I am Boxman. In chat room, we appreciate you guys joining us so early in the show, always and as usual. And I am not alone. I have with me the man, the myth, the legend, the smarkiest of all smarks. I have Smark Wahlberg. What's up, Smark?
What is going on? It is the time of our lives. We are here. The time is now, and the place is space.
What he said is correct. All right, so there you go. All right, well, Smark's doing well. Chat room, once again, hope you guys are doing well. We got a few things to get into tonight. We never did NXT. We will get into that. We will get into the whole, like we said on Wednesday, we'll get into the whole thing with the third party and WWE controversy. We'll get into the Ryback thing and Marty Jannetty. We got a ton of shit to get into tonight, and we'll probably get into SmackDown eventually also. If we do, we do. If we don't, who gives a fuck, really? Not really a lot happened. on that show. But obviously, I did play that song at the beginning. It's today is 9/11, 19 years ago on this date. I believe everybody still remembers where they were, what they were doing, and obviously we all know what happened. The Twin Towers did come down. Open to interpretation. Why not just leave it at that? It's horrible to talk to people about what happened there because so many weird opinions and conspiracy theories and Jesse Venturo's thermite paint on that. Okay, Jesse, calm down, buddy.
I've seen the documents.
Yes, I've seen the document. They won't let me in the building. That's because you don't have the credentials. No, it's because they're lying. No, you don't have the credentials. I was a Navy SEAL. Keyword is was.
Jet fuel can't melt the big boss man.
Anyway, without that, I mean, I don't want to dwell on it, and obviously I'm trying to be a little livened up about it. But, Smart, where were you? I mean, I'm assuming you were in school.
I was.
You were? Do you remember which grade and all that shit?
Want to say 4th. I was 11. No, I wasn't even 11. I was 10. I will forever, and I was 10 again as a preface to the story. So take it easy on me. But my birthday was the next day, and I was absolutely furious that was all anybody talked about that day. I mean, that's understandable, in hindsight, but I was just so upset. But yeah, I was in school. I was in gym class, I believe, because I was outside, and I came inside, and it was like every teacher, but the teacher class that I was in, she had it on her television, and I thought like it was a movie. Like I thought that we were watching some kind of like fucking action movie going on. And I looked, and it was CNN, and I was like, ooh, well, shit. So we watched I think the first one had already come down, and then we saw the second one go down. And it was just like, it's very, even, at that age, you're not completely dumb, but it's still very hard to fathom.
Right.
And like, even to this day, it's still kind of hard to fathom how that would happen, or, that it did happen. But yeah.
Definitely.
So where were you?
Actually, and it's funny you say that because I was about that age when when that first Challenger blew up. You probably weren't even, I don't even think you weren't even thought of back then.
No, because that was 85. That was like right after the Bears won the Super Bowl.
Right. I was actually 10 years old at that time. So see how that worked out. I was that age when that thing happened, and we watched that in school happen live. They were like, yeah, we're going to watch the space shuttle.
There's an episode. I can't remember the TV show. You might be able to help me where they watch, where like it's a sitcom with like kids, and they watch in the classroom the Challenger explode. I don't know how I could manage to like Google search this, but I'll try my damn.
I hate to say, but I think he's thinking. Antok says Punky Brewster. I think it might have been head of the class, dude. It could have been Punky. Punky was very on a special Punky Brewster. Yeah, there was a lot of those. Anyway, back to your first question. I was on my way to work. I can't remember if I was listening to Opie and Anthony or Howard Stern. I was listening to one of those two. I've been a talk radio guy for, I think I was in my early 20s when I started listening to talk radio, and just kind of kept that going. I mean, I'm always loved talk radio. I was listening to one of them, and I heard, obviously, everything stopped. Everything stopped. And I was listening to it. So I was like, all right. That I hear what's going on, and I get to the office. Both I was working for both my parents back then. We had our own company, and we had a Costco across the street. We went, we bought a TV, we brought it back, and big TVs at that time still. We brought it back and turned on. That was back when you could put bunny ears on a TV and still get a couple channels. And we put it on one of the local news channels and just watched in awe and shock. And yeah, we saw the second tower too. I mean, that basically happened over a reporter's shoulder. If you remember, I mean, you saw the airplane go over her shoulder. It was holy shit. I mean, it was surreal. And September 11th, obviously, those of us who lived through it, obviously, will never, ever forget, like I said, where we were, what we were doing, who we were with. But September 12th was Smart's birthday. Happy birthday, Smart. Was even more surreal with everybody. I mean, this was truly at that point. This was the United States of America on September 12th. It was just amazing to see. There were American flags everywhere. Fast forward now, American flags are racist, very strange. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Here's C-Matt. C-Matt said he was just getting home from an overnight job. One of his boys called him about the first plane, trying to figure out how that could happen. Then the second plane hit. They figured out real quick something really bad. Then the Pentagon got hit. Let's not forget about that. I didn't sleep that day either, man. I'll be honest. I went home and I watched the news all night long. My buddy said he went home from work and started recording it so he could show his kids one day. So I don't know if he ever has. He does have one kid. I don't know if he's ever shown them, but I guess today would be that day. A lot of people. C-Matt was there for the Challenger too. So yeah, he saw that also. So a lot of people.
To that point about the Challenger thing, Antox is right. It was Punky Brewster.
Okay.
I did a quick search. That's like one of the things that comes up if you type Punky Brewster and then just like see, it just automatically kind of directs you to Challenger episode. Antox is saying here that he was 8 going on 9. He was in 3rd grade, 8:30 in the morning. He just finished watching PBS programming, about to do schoolwork until the teacher turned on CNN to see the news. He said he couldn't think of anything else for the rest of the day. Right there with you on that one.
Yeah, man. It was just, people were glued to the television. Literally, dude, when I say businesses stopped that day, I'm not lying. Remember, I was 26. I was doing sales. Basically what I'm doing now, except I wasn't miserable. But again, neither here nor there. But it was just, everything stopped. Our phones didn't ring all day, except for someone to say, "Are you watching?" And it was just crazy. And, I was in South Florida at the time. So I don't know if you know, but South Florida is full of Northerners, New Yorkers.
I was really curious as to where you were going to go at the end of that sentence.
Oh, no. Northerners, New Yorkers, New Jersey, Connecticut, Boston. They all come down. And, the weather, some of them go back now. The weather's cooling off. This is called season in Florida. Because in the winter, they come down because it's warm. And then in the summer, they go back. So there's a lot of New Yorkers down there in South Florida, a lot of New Jersey, a lot of people that knew people there. So it was a pretty tough time, man, going anywhere that day. Pretty much everywhere you went, someone knew someone that was there, or a first responder, or a cop, a fireman. So it was a crazy time, man. It was very crazy. And I don't know, man. I'm like I said, September 12th was an amazing day. And after that, many years after that, actually, let's face it, Toby Keith made a career out of September 11th.
Many people did. Nobody held on to it for quite as long, but
right.
That kind of the unfortunate thing is that it became very popular to kind of exploit that for profit. Just to go back to the chat again, Mojo says, thank you for joining us, Mojo, by the way. He was waking up and there was a smoke coming out of the tower, and then seconds later the second plane flew into the tower. He's watching it on television, of course.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, kind of everybody had that kind of same experience where it was just like, and that's kind of a crazy thing too, if you think about it.
Yeah.
It was 2011, like everybody gathered to the television. Like it makes sense at the time, but now it's a little bit archaic if you think about it. Because now if it would just be all over everybody's phone, there'd just be all kinds of tweets, everybody would be checking out the live streams and shit. But at the time, everybody of course gathered around the television because that was your kind of go-to for instant news.
Well, you didn't have. We had cell phones, but they weren't smartphones. We had. If I remember correctly, I had a Nextel back then. The the bleep bleep, those phones.
Pretty much the only thing you could do was call people and play Snake.
I don't even think I could play Snake on that phone. I could make calls. I couldn't even text. It wasn't even text, but I had like the walkie-talkie thing. If you remember.
I was just about to ask you about that. The chirp.
Yes, because
my grandfather had that, and he would talk to my uncles. He pretty much made my uncles get that too, and they would all just walkie-talkie chat each other instead of calling each other. I thought it was like profoundly stupid at the time, but I think I was also jealous that I didn't have a phone that could do that.
Well, we had drivers. to worry about. We had people in our warehouse to worry about. So instead of giving people radios and stuff, you just gave them those. And the truck had a CB in it for real. So if Rigel ever got in real trouble, he could have just hit the CB and done something there too. But we always had those Nextels, man. That's kind of what those were, the great business phones back then. I think construction still uses those things, man.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I didn't think we could get too deep into the show without mentioning it, at least saying where we were. Like I said, that's something everyone's going to remember, where they were and what they were doing. I really don't care. If you were old enough to watch and comprehend, you know where you were. So, yeah, it's just hard to think it was 19 years ago, man. I mean, whew, amazing.
And I can't speak to everybody else's experience, but it kind of created an interesting sort of a bond between the people that were there, like for me at least in my class. Because like I said, I think it was about 4th grade, I want to say. But then like the schools around here, everybody pretty much, if you go to an elementary school, everybody goes to the same middle school, the same high school. And you would have, of course, like kids transferring and new kids and things like that. But then, as you would get longer in the years, but then like even in high school, like we had kind of reflected on it, and everybody that was in like the same classroom together, we kind of, got together or talked about it a little bit just in passing of like, hey, you remember when we were fucking like 10 or 11 and this shit happened? It's crazy, just. So it kind of forged it. If you watched it with somebody, I think it definitely helped to forge a bond. You always kind of have that experience of just where you were and, what they were doing, what they thought, and, of course, what you were doing, what you were thinking, and that whole thing.
Yep, here we go. D-Large, 10th grade, walked into second period English, bam, on the TV. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, that was scary to watch. I mean, there were people jumping out of the building at one point, which I think was when some teachers shut it off. It was because that was after the second building went down. But I mean, there's pictures of that guy falling. He just didn't want to be crushed in the building. I believe there's even a picture of two people holding hands jumping. I don't know, man. Just absolute surreal watching it. Like watching a movie, except that those are real lives being taken. And listen, lost a lot of firemen, a lot of police, a lot of first responders, and a lot of people. I mean, it was, just, I don't even know what to say anymore. It's just starting to get to me. Because, I mean, the heroes back then seemed to be the, not heroes anymore, but let's leave it at that. And I don't know. You got any more on that, or should we? I guess we should roll on, huh?
I just kind of, since we covered everybody else, what everybody else said. Michael Smith here said he was in 7th and 8th grade during 9/11, literally walking to school as it happened. I always thought that was interesting too, because I was kind of mad that we didn't get the day off, or that we didn't get sent home. It's like mad, but also like, again, I was 10, so like I wanted to kind of be around like loved ones, you know what I mean? Make sure everybody's okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I necessarily understood it in such clear terms, but I was just like, yeah, I don't want to be here. I want to make sure that my fucking mother's okay and my grandparents are okay. That shit.
Yeah, man. And I don't know, man. Like I said, it was just, we got a TV. Next thing you know, we're just sitting there and we were glued to it. Like I said, the phones didn't ring. Everyone stopped and was watching TV. And you're right. Nowadays, people would just go to Facebook and be sitting there watching the live stream from someone's phone. But just didn't have that back then, man. We had a TV and that was about it. I mean, I think we had AOL, but you weren't finding nothing but news stories on AOL at the time. So, that and pervy chat rooms.
Oh boy, were you ever?
Oh yeah, they were all over the place.
That was kind of how I was introduced to the world of trolling, because I would have, my mom would do it and my uncles would do it, no matter who they were. Like, okay, my uncles would pretend that they were females, and then they would like fool the dudes, and then they would be like, "Ha, I'm a dude, you're gay now." Like, basically, that's what they did. I know that sounds very juvenile, but it was just funny shit to do, ways to entertain yourself in simpler times. But Yeah, just people would go into the chat rooms and they would pretend to be this or they would pretend to be that or they pretend to like be little boys, and then somebody would hit on them and be like, "I'm a cop," and they'd scare them, and just simple time, different times, simple times.
Different time. There you go. Wow. Trying to figure out where we go from there. I guess we just go right from there.
I was more positive than people dying.
Yeah, I think we should.
I sort of brought the tone up. I brought it in a different direction at the very least. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what we actually talk about here.
Oh, we can go ahead and knock plugs out real quick. Want to do plugs? Or you want to just wait to the end? What do you want to do?
We can do plugs.
Well, we can do plugs real quick. Let me hit play real quick. Obviously, we're going to play Real American, Hulk Hogan's theme. 9/11, man. High Marks, definitely want to check out those guys right there. You got Cheese Man, you got Mojo, you got G Wiz. Mojo's in the chat room, appreciate it. And of course, we always have to shout out Bobby Anthem and Bobby Blade on the Inhuman Experience. You always want to be checking out those guys right there. You can check them out on all the usual podcast platforms. And, of course, the Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. You can check out those guys on all the usual podcast platforms and on Blog Talk Radio. Again, I will be coming in soon to challenge for my title in Jeopardy, and we'll see how I do. And Stephen Milan, definitely appreciate you always sharing the show. Letterboxd, boxd.com/Stephen Milan, 2 L's in Milan, over 7,300 films reviewed. And, of course, review us. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Rate us anywhere you can find us. Follow us on Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify, Google, TuneIn, Player FM. You know where to find us. Smark, go ahead.
Okay, what I want, Fox, what I want you to do, and I want everybody else listening to do, I want you to picture your perfect fall morning. I want you to step outside, see the sun coming up over the mountains. There's a crisp chill in the air. You've got a cup of coffee in your hands. You've got Planet Raconteur in your ears. This utopia can be yours if you so choose to join our friends at Planet Raconteur, the Planet Raconteur podcast with Bobby Anthem, with Papa Dave Sincere, and with Yuck Nasty. You can find them wherever the hell you get your gosh darn podcast, friend.
There you go. Oh, shit. Bobby Anthem just got me pregnant. God damn it.
It happens. It happens every time. That's why you got to wear those little rubber earplugs while you listen. You always have to have a rubber when Bobby's involved.
Yeah, just got me boy pregnant. Yeah. Anyway. Little Tracy Morgan there. Sorry. Shit. All right, yeah, we will get into a few things. I guess, yeah, we're going to start with a little bit of news. We'll get to a little NXT, do a little more news, get a little SmackDown. Let me turn this music off because I just realized I had it on still. And let me pause it. Yeah, there we go. We don't need to talk over that. As far as news, I got a couple little tiny little things I'm going to start with here just to kind of, just touch on a few things here. Number one, obviously we all talked about Evan Bourne's little not so great debut the other night on AEW. But he's at least having fun with it. I mean, for almost breaking his neck, he tweeted out a little tweet that says, "For my next match, all banana peels will be banned from ringside." Listen, corny, yeah, but at least the guy's not sitting there like, "I totally meant to do that." Because he could do that. "Oh, no, that wasn't a botch. That dude was supposed to hit me, and I was supposed to..." No. He's just having fun with it. So I got a little bit of appreciation for that.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the important thing is that he's okay. And that once everybody knows that he's okay, and he kept going on throughout the match, everything was fine. We can all have fun laughing at it. We don't have to have these people coming out there and be like, "Oh, you fucking almost broke his neck. You guys laughing." That is my impression of what Jordan Gray sounds like, by the way. She was the one that was doing that. But, yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's no big deal. He's going to overcome it. He's got the talent. He's got the abilities. It's not a fucking shockmaster situation, and he's not in the WWE where they would make this his gimmick that he just constantly falls off shit or fucks things up. So he'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Yeah. I definitely think he will be fine. I got one more little piece on AEW. Obviously, we're going to talk about the ratings, so that'll be another little piece on AEW. But Tay Conti she is signed with them now. I'm sure you guys have already heard this. Only reason I mentioned that is because we forgot to mention during her match the other night that she was ready to friggin' cry when she walked out to that ring. Did you notice that? She was holding tears back.
No.
Yeah.
It's a big moment for her, I'd imagine. She's, the whole NXT thing didn't quite go the way perhaps she had hoped, or that perhaps anyone had hoped. But, fresh start.
Yeah, and she was Tainara over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tainara Conti. So, yeah, good for her, man. I mean, she's... Did she ask for her release, or did she get released? She's the one that walked out, and then they came back, and then she was right.
Well, I don't. It became a whole big situation. I think the one that you might be thinking of is Casey Catanzaro, where she said that she retired or whatever the fuck, and then she was back a month later.
That might be. It could be. It could be. Hey, yuck nasty. What's going on? Yuck.
The only Packer fan that I will tolerate. How you doing, Yuck?
Well, we'll see how long that lasts. Yeah, so there was that. Again, glad for her. And speaking of someone getting hired, let's go to the other end of the spectrum. We had a few releases
Actually, before you get into that too much,
okay.
What I've seen on Twitter is that apparently Serena Deeb got hired too.
Really?
Because of that, off the strength of that Thunder Rosa match that she had on Dynamite.
Good.
That is scuttlebutt on Twitter, so there you go.
Good, man. She was looking really fucking fit out there, man. Looking good, so good.
Yeah, I mean, the division needs all the help it can get. They're still trying to solidify it, so.
Yeah, they just have so many women. Now they need to figure out who to concentrate on.
Right.
And as much as I like watching Big Swole in the ring, she ain't the one to be concentrating on. But there was, again, off of 2 hirings now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to some releases in the WWE world because, they just got to do that.
Right. Of course, yes, because we want to crunch the numbers here, I would go ahead and combine for PWG, for Ring of Honor, for Impact, for New Japan, for GCW, a combined total of 0 people fired during the pandemic. WWE, not quite so much.
Well, no, AEW did get rid of some people, in all fairness.
I didn't mention AEW, I don't think.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Because I knew that they did. They got rid of
Jimmy and...
guy who punches people in the face and sexually harasses people. Jimmy Havoc? I was confused Jimmy Havoc and Jimmy Lloyd. Jimmy Lloyd's a decent human being, so I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Lloyd's a little crazy, but that's about it. So, Gerald Briscoe, one of the casualties. Now, what they did, I mean, they didn't really release. Well, they did release, but these people were already furloughed. So, Gerald Briscoe was one of them that got released, along with producer Sarah Stock and IRS. So,
Fucking 36 years.
36 years. I actually have the Gerald Briscoe tweet. This is how we all kind of heard about all this. Okay, want to get this out the right way. There we go. Last night I received a call from @WWE Chairman of the Board @Vince McMahon to let me know after 36 years of dedication to @WWE, I am no longer needed. I'm okay with this. I will still be around to help talent. More info will follow. Thanks. So I don't know what that means where I'm no longer needed, but I'll still be around. I guess that means you got my number. Give me a call if you need me. That's how I'm taking that. You?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah? You know what, Gerald? After that long, take some time, relax. I'm sure you got a nice little nest egg. Take a break.
Still love you, Mr. McMahon.
Go to Hawaii. Do something. Relax.
Does he still have the body shop? That's still a thing?
I don't know.
I mean, I know they plugged the ever-loving shit out of that during the Attitude Era, the Briscoe Brothers body shop. A lot of beads, alliteration.
That's right. I remember that. And today I don't know how I saw it, but someone was floating around that Steve Blackman bail bond commercial.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. I thought about playing it, but I'm like, it's pretty stupid. So I decided against it. I'm trying to see what else we got here. I didn't have a ton of news, like I said, but I did have a few things. I'll save that for later. We'll save Marty Jannetty for after we do this. Go ahead.
I just want to shoehorn this in real quick because it's a little bit depressing. So then we can bring the show back up after this. But kind of a little bit obligated, I feel like, to just kind of put out there. Barry Scott, he did the voiceovers for the TNA pay-per-views, the big booming voice. He passed away, as well as Puppet the Cycle Jewel also passed away. And I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's a niche market, but I mean, to be in a relatively obscure and niche, like I said, kind of category of wrestling, and to still get yourself out there like that. I mean, he was, for what he did, he was kind of a pioneer in his category of wrestling.
Puppet was also part of that micro championship stuff with Hogan. So I do remember him. I do remember him.
Over.
He did. He did. I mean, he had some big notoriety, and you know, I mean, not no pun intended.
Shame on you.
No pun intended. But I mean, he was doing TV stuff and this and that, and definitely saw him in a few. I believe if you look him up, he actually was it TV or movies or commercials, something like that.
I'll give it a look here. We'll find that out. But yeah, I mean, he got himself over. He was doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, he was. When was that, by the way?
The exact date, not sure. I want to say yesterday, but I know it definitely happened this week.
All right.
They were kind of both back to back.
All right. Antox posted the Briscoe Body Shop still around.
Right on. Very nice.
So, yeah, they got something to do. That's awesome. Glad he's got something to do out there. So, all right, man, Puppet, and I remember that voice. I do remember the TNA guy. So, wow, man, I did see that.
Was one of the things where, like, you know, obviously they have made many of missteps in that company. That was one of the consistently good things that they always had going for them.
Yeah, you're right. It was. It definitely was, but
oh, he was in. Oh, now that you mention it, I was looking up. His name's Stevie Lee. He made Puppet. He was apparently in Oz the Great and Powerful.
Okay.
Of course, he was a munchkin. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not even making a joke. That's what he played.
Yeah.
It's an American Horror Story freak show. So he was, I mean, he was doing some shit. Like, he probably got some good, nice little payday off of some of this stuff.
I knew he had been doing some TV because I don't know how but he popped up every now and then on my Facebook. That, you know, not his real name, but Puppet. So I don't know. I think he might have done some reality TV shows too. Maybe I might be wrong about that. I could be. But yeah, I do know he was involved with the micro championship wrestling with Hulk Hogan when he was doing that shit. He was basically the main focus of that show, actually. If you remember, did you ever?
That's like kind of the only one that I remembered. I think I watched like an episode or two, just because in the circles that we were in at that point, people were making a big to do about it.
I watched a good amount of episodes. I don't think I watched it all. I don't even know if you can find it anywhere. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not really caring enough to go look. But anyway, let me see what the hell we got. What else we got here? We got the ratings. We'll get into that in a minute. You want to get into Ryback?
I mean, not literally, but yeah.
No, the big guy. Come on. Ryback said a little something that I would never say about anybody. I don't care if they're a friend, a foe, a enemy. But I wouldn't say this. Now, Smark, you said you hadn't heard about this.
I hadn't, yes.
Ryback decided to go on Twitter, break out the old Twitter machine, the iPhone. That's where it says it came from Twitter for iPhone. And he says this: I firmly believe the world would be a better place with Dave Meltzer 6 feet under. He is the most dangerous kind of mark there is and puts out lies for profit, creating hate for people he dislikes. He makes money off other diseased marks, but does so in a horrible way. Huh?
What do you think? He's a big fan, is what you're saying?
Like I said, man, I don't care how much I dislike a person. I don't wish death. Number one, I don't know about you, but I believe in karma. Oh wait, that was just the revised version, is what Antox is saying. I guess it was a worse version. Well, he deleted and changed the wording. Hold on, is this one I have right here, the old one? Hold on, let me see. Give me a second.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to say hello to Bobby, who's joining us. Hey, Bobby Anthem, how are you?
Oh yeah, Bobby.
Getting everybody pregnant.
Okay. He said 6 feet in the ground. Well, I don't know what in the ground or under. I don't really know the. I mean, that's still pretty shitty either way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he changed the wording. He deleted.
I would prefer if he ceased living, is what you're trying to say.
Well, I mean, he deleted, did this, but again, karma. Do you believe in karma, Spark?
I mean, in a sense, yeah.
Do you believe?
I'm fighting the urge to make an Awesome Kong joke, but
Well,
yeah, I mean,
not that karma. All right.
That's an asshole. You put bad things out there, it comes back to you at some point, ideally.
It does. It does. I mean, yes, Michael Smith, exactly what he's saying. I mean, 6 feet under, that means dead. I mean, he is saying he wishes Dave Meltzer was dead. The most dangerous kind of mark there is. I don't know about you, but I think the most dangerous kind of mark there is has a knife and is standing outside your house threatening to kill you and that little bitch in there with you. I think that's a pretty dangerous kind of mark, in my opinion. Lies for profit. Do you think, Spark, let me ask you a question. Do you think Dave Meltzer puts out anything that he's not told by someone else, whether true or not?
I don't think so, no. And I mean, the whole thing about, like, okay, well, you said this was going to happen and then it didn't. It's like, yeah, they fucking changed the show 800 times, like, sometimes while it's happening. Like, maybe the fact that he doesn't have the most current news, like, at the time he reported it, probably was what was the case, what was going to happen, and then this show gets switched up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how many times do we hear Vince is ripping up the script as the show is running? I mean, come on. Ryback, to me, it sounds like he's trying to keep himself relevant at all because really no one gives a shit. I don't even think he has a podcast with Phoenix Marie or the porn star. Is that her name? Phoenix what?
I don't know. I'm not following his activities very.
I don't know. He's got a podcast with a porn star, and he's got this show where he's getting fat because he's doing like food things and trying out food.
That I have seen. He did do a couple of like YouTube video reviews of just eating food in the car, which is where we are as a society these days with conscious entertainment.
Well, gee, I wonder where he saw that from. Remember the guy Damn Drops that you see in fucking like Burger King and Little Caesars commercials now?
Mm-hmm. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, you may have Damn Drops back in with another super official. For the review.
Fucking love that guy, man. He used to sit in his car and just be like, look how delicious this motherfucker looks. And it's just looking all fine in my hands. I love that guy. And I'm real glad to see him on television getting a shot, man. That's even better to see. Yes, it was Phoenix Marie. And yes, she's pretty hot. She got big old knockers and shit like that, but
look?
I mean, I don't really want to hear her talk in those movies. You think I want to hear her talk not in those movies? That's all I'm saying.
Well, there you have it, folks. Fox believes that a woman is to be seen, not heard. Anyways, next subject.
Oh, fuck.
It's all love.
All right, just go ahead. What ist am I now?
What ist aren't you?
I don't know. I'm just a bundle of ists.
Fucking public enemy number one at this point.
I'm a bundle of ists. That's all I can say. All right, but
you're not doing a good job of cultivating your brand.
No. But anyway,
she's not bad. I did a quick search here. Kind of your standard of what you think a porn star would be. Kind of fake tits, maybe fake ass. Can't tell.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of her work. She can. She can work on her back.
You appreciate the arts. I get it.
I appreciate the art. Exactly. But like I said, man, karma, I believe in it. I know everyone doesn't. Obviously, the big guy doesn't. But first of all, you never wish death on a person. Second of all, why did he tweet this? What was in? Does anyone in the chat room know what this was in response to, or is this just he woke up and decided Dave Meltzer should die?
I think it may be like it's loosely interpreted. It might have something to do with the fact that he got into it with Miro/Rusev. And I think he was kind of piggybacking on to that. He being Meltzer got into it with Miro. Because he was saying that apparently and we'll get into this later, I suspect, but the straw that broke the camel's back, so to say, was Lana doing Instagram ads and shit for, I want to say Bang Energy.
It was.
Yeah, it was Bang Energy. I get all the energy brands mixed up, but yeah, she was doing stuff for Bang Energy, and he pointed out that was kind of the last straw, and then Rusev just kind of flipped his shit.
Well, yeah, and even Lana denied that. You know what? I would love to see the credits for that and see if she's CJ Perry or Lana from WWE, which I have a feeling it's going to say CJ Perry if you look at it. I wonder how we could do that. Look up the actual credits for that commercial. I wonder if we just typed in Bang Energy Lana, what would come up? Probably the actual commercial, but like I said, I don't know if she was representing didn't look like she was representing WWE to me. I mean, she just looked like she was dancing around with a Bang Energy. The more she drank, the more she danced. It was an energy drink commercial, but I don't know.
Right, I wondered the kind of idea that they put that out there to make her the scapegoat, to like kind of turn the locker room against her instead of them being turned against Vince.
Yeah.
But apparently what ended up happening was that Meltzer took the heat for it, so there you go.
Well, I mean, listen, like I said, Meltzer gets information. That's what he does. He gets information. He puts it out to us, the marks. Obviously, we're all just a bunch of shitty marks if we listen to Meltzer, which I would say 80 to 90% of the news sites out there just copy and paste from F4W Online.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I want to get your opinion on this while we're talking about Meltzer. In the chat room, feel free to chime in on this as well. Just when you hear Dave Meltzer talk, if you don't know what he looks like, you're not looking at him while he talks, does he sound like a Muppet to you? Like he would be like some little boy's friend that would like give him advice in like one of those like shitty like family movies?
Yeah, he kind of does. He kind of does. A little bit. A little bit. Yeah, and C-Mad's saying, that Ryback was wrong. And yeah, and I agree, C-Mad. If that was the problem, why wouldn't they just release her during all these little releases right here? If that was really the straw that broke the camel's back, they would release her, and they would do it now. I mean, they've got no problem releasing people, obviously. So I think she'd be gone if that was the real case. I don't know. I don't know what you think, but I'm going to try to look up that commercial.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's what led to, like I was saying, that's what I think led to Ryback putting out the stuff that he put out. But I am definitely in agreement with you that when we're in a world whose fandom consists of piss shit milk guy and a guy who broke into somebody's house and tried to decapitate this woman's friend and then tried to do all kinds of horrific shit to the actual person, like I think that one person falsely reporting the finish to Raw or SmackDown is not the ultimate evil in this scenario.
Okay, so here's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the fact that she did the commercial and WWE didn't get their piece. It seems to me what might have been a factor, and this, again, I'm not saying it was down to her. They might have been doing this for everybody else doing the same thing. It looks like she was promoting it on her Lana WWE Instagram. Okay? And that's probably where they're like, all right, you need to separate. That I could see being a bone of contention with them, because we'll get into it later. I mean, let's just want to go ahead and roll into it now while we're here.
Yeah, I mean, either or, whatever works.
I mean, we can do it now. We can save Marty Jannetty's dumbass for the main event. And I mean, obviously, we've kind of moved. We're moving on from what a piece of shit Ryback is for even saying that. So that's what it looks like happened. It looks like she was promoting it on her Lana WWE Instagram as Lana, which I can understand them being like, we ain't getting none of this. this should really be under your real name. And that's really all they're doing now. They have they clarified the rules is what they did. Let's see, I'm getting this right from, guess where? F4WOnline.com. So, by Dave Meltzer. WWE did relax some of the vague rules that we had talked about last Friday with it. Previously, we had, like we said Friday, we don't know a lot about this. We're going off what we know right now. Basically, they had said third parties. They didn't clarify. Basically, we thought that was going to be Cameo, possibly, Twitch. We did see that some of the people had already switched over their accounts. We can go check that a little bit later, maybe if we want to. But they did say, now listen to this statement that they issued regarding the third-party deals. Much like Disney and Warner Brothers, God, they love comparing themselves to Disney. I can see the guy's writing it, and his dick is just going up every letter. D, I, S. Anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, game recognizes game. They want to be the same evil corporation that Disney is. They want to own all their employees and force them to fucking smile all the time or throw shit at them. Anyways, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. WWE creates, promotes, and invents its intellectual property, i.e. the stage names of performers like The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Big E, and Braun Strowman. It is in control and exploitation of these characters that allows WWE to drive revenue. Understandable. Which in turn enables the company to compensate performers at the highest levels in the sports entertainment industry. Notwithstanding the contractual language, it is imperative for the success of our company to protect our greatest assets and establish partnerships with third parties on a company-wide basis rather than an individual level, which as a result will provide more value for all involved. So basically what they're saying is, why don't you tell us where you're going and we'll try to get more involved and dump money into that company to promote us more. Fine. I mean, that's kind of what they're saying in the latter part of this article. Protect our greatest assets and establish partnerships with third parties on a company-wide basis rather than individuals. So they just don't want you promoting on something like that under your account. And AJ Styles even says that's basically what they're doing. Let's see. During a recent Twitch stream, AJ Styles commented on the policy. And then, Smart, you're going to jump in right after this. He said, from the contract that I've read, the information I got, WWE does want us to interact with our fans. That means streaming. They want this to happen. They want you to have a YouTube channel. What we know was a little vague at first, but we're going to talk about things that need to happen. Basically, I'm not going to read the rest of it. Don't stress. Everybody basically is just changing their names to their real names, and they'll be able to be fine on the third-party platforms. Cameo's fine. Twitch is going to be fine. YouTube is going to be fine. But they just can't go under their WWE names.
Which, I mean, is also, if you look at what we were reading like last week, it seems like a definite walk back. Mm-hmm. Or it wasn't just, okay, you can't use your WWE name. That's entirely fair and rational. We were also we own you as a person, too. Mm-hmm. So don't go out here doing it. Seemed like, I wish I would have put it out there as a prediction, but it seemed that it played out the way that I thought it would play out, honestly.
Right.
That would put out this kind of vague and this kind of like totalitarian, like straight up fist on the table decree, this edict. And then everybody would be like, yeah, no, fuck you. And they were like, okay, well, what we actually meant was... So it's like they get what they want, but then it looks like they're being rational and kind of bargaining, and where, they already had a goal in mind, a destination to get to when they started, but they made it so extreme that they could walk it back to where they originally wanted it to be anyway, and they look rational. Mm-hmm. But... yeah, I mean, I think that's really all that boils down to. Like Antox is saying, long story short, they can keep the cameos, Twitches, can't use their real names. So, like Dakota Kai or Luna Vega, they can't use their names, which I think Vega does. I don't know about Dakota Kai because I don't really follow her that much. But And I mean, for the most part, a lot of those people aren't, at least as far as Twitch goes, they're not using their actual like wrestling name anyway. Like old Javier Woods is using Austin Creed, and not Xavier Woods. A couple people like that. I don't know what AJ. I don't watch AJ either, but by and large, people aren't using their actual WWE name already as it is.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few. I'm kind of going through the cameos a little bit. Some of them have changed their names over. Some of them haven't. Indy Hartwell is still Indy Hartwell. Coco Beware is still Coco Beware. I don't know what they're going to do about these old guys, but I mean,
leave Coco Beware alone.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about just in general.
Just
leave the fucking guy alone. He can't be making that much off of his name.
Oh no, I doubt it. Let's see. Dominic Dijakovic is still Dominic Dijakovic. Samuel Shaw. Wow, they don't have. Okay, here. I guess that's his real name. I never knew what his real name was.
There you go.
I guess that's his real name. Jess Maduke, I think, is her real name. Brian Myers, look at that. A TNA guy changed his name. He's still in WWE, though, the listing. Who's Emily Anzulis?
No idea.
Me neither. I'm going to have to find out who exactly she is. She's a WWE wrestler. I don't know if she's an NXT star or what, but Smalltown, Tennessee, made it on Titan Games. Now WWE NXT. All right. I'm not sure who she is.
She's going places, though.
No, she's really built.
Okay.
The Pitbull. That's what they call her, the Pitbull. Cool. Oh, she's also an MMA fighter. She's a former MMA fighter out of Knoxville, Tennessee, Mark.
Yeah, very nice.
There you go.
Half hours away in Texas A&M. She was on Raw Underground one time.
Ah, okay. All right. So, yeah, I mean, some of them are changing their names. Some of them aren't. I think they have to the end of October, was it?
They put it out in the beginning of September. Mm-hmm. So it would be the beginning of October.
Right. Yeah.
Just kind of full on 30 days from the time you get that whole thing.
Mm-hmm. And Paige was one of the first ones to kind of switch hers to her Soraya Knight name instead of the Paige name, and people kind of got a little like, what are you doing? Meanwhile, rumor going around is Paige is making right around $45,000 a month. And I would assume she got more subs just from this here, just from having her name out there once again. But yeah, she said she wasn't going anywhere, and she's out there doing stuff, and got her under her real name. And I don't think. Listen, 45,000.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, she's
she kind of bends the rules on both avenues, because she's out there and she's like barely wearing anything on a video game streaming website and not playing any video games. So she's not playing video games. She's also not getting naked, but she's kind of like profiting off of both.
So
she's not a full-on cam girl. She's not a full-on gamer, but she's making cam girl gamer money. So God bless her.
So she's not playing games? What is she doing on there? Just talking and drinking coffee?
Basically, just like she has this little fucking green screen. She has this thing where it looks like she's in a wrestling ring. She like reads comments in a tube top, and people throw money at her. I mean, that's pretty much where we are as a society. Not that I'm judging, even though I am judging, but I'm not.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of looking at the article here, and she's sitting there with a Starbucks coffee and a little string halter top, and got her new tattoo, and I
mean, it doesn't ever. I blocked her a while back because it doesn't ever fucking lead to anything. It's just, oh, we need more subs. Why do you need more subs? Because we need more subs. All right, what are you gonna do when you get more subs? Ask for more subs. Like, all right, cool. I'm done. Fuck you. This isn't content. This isn't entertaining. If you want money, fucking juggle or do something. Entertain me, goddammit.
Yeah, there you go. I put it in the chat there. The picture I was looking at, so everybody could be in awe with me of Paige's new assets. A couple of Golden Globes. But yeah, $45,000 a month, man. And you said you thought that was a little low.
I'm surprised that it wasn't more, just because of just the sheer number of like it never ends. Like she's on seemingly every day, and it's always new people, and like people are gifting a bunch of subs on other people's behalf. So like one person will give 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 or more subs. All cost $5. Now what it is that Amazon or Twitch is owned by Amazon, I guess, by old Jeffy Bezos, and he takes a cut of that too.
Of course.
So like it's a $5 subscription is how much like the very basic subscription cost. And somebody broke it down for me. I don't remember the exact details, but I think they only get like $2 out of that, maybe $2.50 for each subscription for $5. But like I said, just from what I've experienced, there have been quite a few people just every day. It's endless fucking stream of subscriptions, and sometimes they go for the higher subscriptions, and then sometimes they just donate money. You don't even have to subscribe. You could just donate money or bits, or there's like fucking 8 different kinds of currency on which it gets confusing sometimes. But yeah, I mean, that's basically where we're at. It's an endless fucking ATM for her, basically.
Yeah, it looks like she's just doing Q&As with the chat, the Rampagers. Get it? I mean, right here, donations. She's at $1,835. Dude, just making that a day ain't bad.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind making $1,800 a day for sitting there talking.
And then there's always, of course, the majority of them, and I think she works this way too. They set up these arbitrary goals where it's like, get to $5,000 in donations in the next 3 weeks. It's like, why? Like, because I want money. Oh, okay, cool.
Oh.
Like there's a lot of people on Twitch that actually provide content that's actually entertaining, but I really think this shit is kind of a shortcut, and I guess if they're going to allow it and people are going to pay, more power to you. But I don't know, it just kind of seems shitty to me.
Well, she's got names up here. If you're if you're a recent subscriber, if you're a recent donor, your name pops up on the screen. This dude right here gave her $100. $100.
Well, that's the kickback for them, is that she says your name, and then I guess you can just like loop the video of her saying your name and just beat it silly. I don't know. Like there's these people that think that they're going to get to be friends with these wrestlers because they show up to their fucking Twitch chat every day, give them money, are the most delusional fuckers on earth.
Yeah. Man.
Like it's one thing if you go on the independent scale.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually, like, I'll go into, like, Effie's stream, and there's usually, like, 20, 30 people there. And, like, if you want to, he'll have an actual fucking conversation with you. But, like, okay, in him, like, people like Ricky Shane Page, there's a couple other people just on the independent scene. I don't have to name them all, but you get the idea. It's a much smaller community. There's less people in the chat room. They're not as money starved. They're not constantly fucking begging you for money. They'll actually talk to you. So those are fun. But like by and large, when you start reaching that kind of place where like with the Pages stream and like Vegas stream that I've noticed, it's basically just fucking panhandling.
Yeah, she put out a little video kind of telling everybody it's going to change. Give me a second here. Let me see if it's got an ad before I play it. It's only 1:30. It's got an ad, if it even fucking plays. Sometimes these embedded things just don't play right.
Right.
It's spinning. Oh, here we go. Hold on 1 second. Let me hit pause. Let me back it up. Let me give y'all some volume. And here we go.
Thank you. Just so you guys know, this is all going to be changed. It's going to say Saraya Mania. Everything's getting changed to Saraya. Iceman, what's up, buddy? Everything's getting changed to Saraya, my real name. But we are not getting rid of our Twitch, you guys. We are here to stay. James, thank you. 2 months, huh? We are here to stay, you guys. We are not going anywhere. Twitch is our house.
Okay. All right. I see what she's doing here. So she has it set up, like you said. It's kind of like she's walking down the ramp, and she's got the Page Mania. So she's probably going to be getting rid of all this wrestling stuff going on. And the music is definitely WWE-esque behind her. I could see all that getting changed. But, she's, gift 5 subscriptions and you get a signed poster of Paige. At least she's trying to give stuff away. And I don't know.
I guess to be fair, because I did go on and get on my soapbox there, I have seen that they're giving, like you said, the poster or whatever, and if you reach a certain amount, you get like a T-shirt and this kind of shit, which, I mean, it's better than nothing, but I feel like, and I will say first off, that it's their right to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't think that they shouldn't be allowed to do it, but I should also be able to judge them for doing it. Like, I just, like I said, the whole thing just kind of feels like it's not actually content. It's just begging for money. But I mean, yeah, it's their right and it's their time off. It's their, they can do whatever the fuck they want with it. I feel like they should be allowed to do it, but I also feel like they perhaps shouldn't. But, I
mean, listen, to tighten up rules now when people can't really make a ton of money, you're not getting the house show money, you're not getting this, you're not getting that. So I think now is a pretty shitty time. These people want to be on Twitch making a little, especially Cameo. There shouldn't be an issue with it as far as I'm concerned. There should be no issue with it. But
I think to say it a little bit better, if it's not written into their contract that they're not allowed to do it, then they should be allowed to do it. Yeah. Just regardless of what I think of it as content or as entertainment, or just the fact, like them having major money and then still getting extra on the side, like that's whatever. That's more of a morality thing than what I think should actually legally be permissible under their contracts. I'll just say that, like I said, I think they should be allowed to do it, but at the same time, they should be open to criticism.
Boy, I'll tell you one thing, with all these wrestlers going to be changing to their real names, Jim Cornette might have a coronary. It might be coronary Cornette soon. If you remember when Jordan Grace changed over to her real name, mm-hmm. He flipped his shit. So let's all pray for Jim Cornette to be okay. Because he's definitely going to be freaking out, and I believe he did comment on this.
But of course,
is it short, or is it like 12 minutes of him just calling people motherfuckers?
I honestly have no idea. Like, I don't listen to him straight up, but I am absolutely certain that he has commented on this.
Jim Cornette, third.
Fucking TA wouldn't be on fucking Twitch. I'm playing goddamn fucking Dig Dug. This is a bunch of bullshit. I don't know why he talks like that, but I can't bring my voice to do an octave of Cornette level.
All right, hold on. Jim Cornette on Kraken. All right, this is from Reddit. Let's see what we get here. Let's see if it's audio. Let's see if it's video. Oh, it's YouTube. All right, well, I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm not going to do it off of Reddit because that's going to take up too much fucking bandwidthy. Let's see. Let me drop this real quick because I got an ad playing here. All right. Ad's only a couple more seconds to 1. Let's see how long this is. Oh, it's 23 minutes. Let's play some of it. Fuck it. We got to.
Well, speaking of evil conglomerates.
Boy, that was an easy segue.
That was the best one we've ever done. Have you been following everything that broke last week after we were done with the experience with Vince McMahon and WWE sending out a letter to talent notifying them that they are no longer allowed to have any third-party deals? They have to end these deals, whatever they have, within 30 days?
Well, yes, I was keeping up with this, and I think everybody was dumbfounded at what a third-party deal was. Because I know they quit doing third-party promoter deals. I was the last one in the office to do them, where you would book the contracted talent to third-party promoters on their days off to make them some extra money. But they quit doing that because the rings were iffy and they didn't know whether a guy was going to get hurt or not or whatever. And then they started booking everybody and making them more money, and they eliminated that feature. What these third parties are now is the Twitches and Twitters and Cameos and all that stuff of the world, right? That's what they call third parties now.
They never said Twitter.
I would think so. YouTube also, I would include in that.
Well, see, that's the thing. Their statement, they didn't actually come out and say what these third parties were, right?
Okay. Twitter, they have a great relationship with. I don't think they meant Twitter ever.
No.
All right. Take it easy there, Jimmy. Easy, Jim. Put the Sprite down.
Oh, goddamn.
And that's why all the guys were up in arms like, well, what does this mean? Is this mean I've got to give up YouTube, or I've got to give up this, or I've got to give up that? And they're supposed to be clarifying this but here's the thing. I've said this before. The guys are horribly underpaid. The guy in relation to what any other sports franchise pays its talent. The guys are also not treated as employees, even though they have to, whenever the office says jump, they got to say how high and do everything, blah, 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 be there, dress the certain way, call themselves a certain thing. They fit every requirement of an employee, but they are treated as independent contractors. So
yuck, this was uploaded the 8th. Has he commented since then that I'm missing? Is that what I'm...
I don't know. Like I said, I don't follow him.
Yeah, Yannick actually is asking me in the chat when was this uploaded, so I'm wondering if there's a new one. You know what, let me see if there's another one that maybe I can find here. Official Jim... Maybe I should go right to the Jim Cornette thing. Let's go right to the official Jim Cornette. I can't believe we're not subscribed to this.
Hello again, everybody. This is
shit.
Jim Cornette.
Take it easy there, Jimmy. The AEW, the Gerald Briscoe thing, Jim Cornette, the debut of Miro, Karashita-verse, Jim Miro Watch Along. All right, I don't see any other newer videos. Yeah, you're right. He was missing some information. I'm not even going to play anymore. I don't really care. But, all right, it sounds like he wasn't flipping out as much as Jim Cornette usually does. I would like to hear his views on the debut of Miro, but that's 9 minutes, and I don't really feel like listening to him for that long.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why he bothers watching AEW. Jesus Christ. Why fucking bother? Why torture yourself, dude?
Some of it obviously is pageantry. Let's be real about it.
Oh, I know, but
people
still.
expect him to hate shit, and then he has to at least watch it so he can know what it is that he hates.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if anything interesting is on here that we can play, but it's pretty much all just the same old. Yeah, nothing really I care about to play. You know what? We'll save the last two things for later. We'll get into a couple of quick reviews right now. I don't really care to spend too much time on really anything. NXT, we'll go ahead and start with that, if that's all right with you, Smart.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. NXT Super Tuesday.
Part 2.
Part 2. That's
right.
There we go. Was on Tuesday night, obviously, this week. We didn't talk about it. I hadn't watched it. I did watch it last night. I thought it was
this afternoon.
All right. I thought it was a pretty decent show. I didn't think it was a great show. Once again, if you're going basically uncontested, you may want to step it up a little bit. I get that they started with a really good match. Finn Balor, Adam Cole. Don't really know how that could have been a bad match. Balor's great. Cole, pretty good. Looking like a Cole face turn coming. Probably shying away from the... what are those fucking guys called? Undisputed Era. Thank you. It was right there. It was there.
Oh, yeah, I know. You got that.
Yeah. Undisputed Era. So, looks like they're going to kind of not split them, but it looks like he may go on his own a little bit more, which is fine. I don't really give a shit. But definitely, these two guys, man, they were fucking beating the shit out of each other for most of the match. Some great fucking spots in this match. Balor was getting his ass kicked a lot in the beginning, which... Again, if you follow the WWE formula, you know the guy getting his ass kicked in the beginning is probably going to win. And Balor did. We have a new champion, NXT, in Finn Balor. But, Smart, talk to me, man.
Sure. Antex saying they thought it was a good match. I agree with that. And they gave Cole some good stuff, too, because they made a whole big deal out of Cole being the only person to ever kick out of the coup de grace. The top rope double stomp thing that Finn does, which I don't know if that's actually the truth or that's just what they're choosing to spin as a narrative. But either way, play along with it. that makes him look good, that he kicked out of a move nobody else kicked out of, so he didn't completely just go out like a chump. It ended up taking him the top rope, 1916, I think he calls it.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And like I said, I had picked when they announced this that they were going to do the 4-man match for the title. I picked Balor to win it. And I just think it's been enough time in between his first reign and his reign now that it doesn't feel old or stale. It actually feels like it's a kind of a new breath of fresh air, a different way to do things, now that he already been through what he's been through, and now he's kind of getting himself back on point. So it'd be interesting to see how this kind of carries out.
Yeah, definitely will. Definitely will be. Sasha Baron Corbin joining us. Salutations back to you, sir. Back to you. And we will not talk about Baron Corbin later. But thank you for joining us. Appreciate that.
Main event, Nick.
All right, maybe we'll talk about him a little bit. I'll shit on him for you, Sasha. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know. Like I said, we have a brand new champion. He got his pictures with Triple H, of course. You know how Triple H has to do that with the champions. And he did. But let's see. We had, after that, Smark, we had the Velveteen Dream come out. Before we get into something, can I bring up something?
Sure.
Velveteen Dream tweeted out a kind of promo video of something. I forget what exactly it was. But he tweeted it, and he disabled the comments because I guess he didn't want to be called a fucking pedophile or be told he should be fired or to send people dick pics because now they want... I guess he didn't want that. I know. What a concept. So what did people do? I guess on Twitter, again, I know I'm a little old. I don't really know social media really, really good. I guess on Twitter you can still quote people even if they shut comments, which is, I don't know if quoting is sharing. Is that what that is, Smart?
Yeah, you can retweet things with a quote. So basically you put what they put out and then you can write your own little message.
So that's what they were doing. And they were still calling him a pedophile. They were telling him he should be fired. The whole fire Velveteen Dream thing. It's starting to get pretty fucking gross, man. Once again, we're in this cancel guilty until proven innocent, which I don't think there's any way to prove anyone innocent anymore. Because people just think everything is fake news now. Oh, no, it's fake news. No. That comes from a WWE site. Oh, okay. So, what about Meltzer? No, man, he's a WWE kiss ass too. All right, whatever. But I mean, if there was any hint that he did any of this, I don't think they would let him even step out of the fucking rampway, dude. They would not let him step out of, I don't know if NXT has a gorilla, but that's where they would not let him step out in that fucking ring. If there was any hint that he did any of that with children, are you kidding? With underage kids? The people that are out there, literally we saw a commercial tonight on SmackDown. They're having kids out there do stuff. I don't see it. I think WWE would definitely, if there was any, absolutely any, even minuscule belief that he did this. Smart. Do you think they would have him on television?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, they do have a history of doing just incredibly stupid shit, but I feel like they care way more now about maintaining relationships with sponsors and things like that than they do about, covering up like fucking Snuka being a murderer in the 80s or whatever. Like it's a much more higher stakes game.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got to realize for them to cover this up, number one, if they covered this up and got caught, stocks would plummet. Investors would start pulling out. You can't just cover this up and no one find out. Not today, not in this fucking era. Someone would leak it. It would whistleblowers. No way it would happen. I just don't see it. There's that, but I mean, it's just there's no possible way. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. People are just disgusting and really need to chill the fuck out. Stop with this fire Velveteen Dream until we know what's true and what's not. But right. I don't know. Anyway, he took on Ashante, the Adonis. Pretty much a squash match. And but Kushida seemed to turn heel.
I mean, basically, I think the whole idea was that he was getting payback for what Dream ended up doing to him. So it was more revenge than it was just out of the blue attacking somebody.
All right, I mean, I can see that. I got a crying baby behind me, so excuse me if I keep turning the mic down. But I guess it's not that loud. Maybe it is. Who knows? I don't know. All right, Antox is saying I say heel, but to everyone else, he's a face. I realize that, but he came out and he beat. I mean, I don't know. Is Dream a?
Oh yeah, Dream's definitely a heel, and I'm not saying because of what's going on, but I mean he is. It's just the character that he plays now. He was a heel going into that whole ladder match too.
True. I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, especially now. I mean, he's not going to be a top babyface with what's going on with him right now, especially with the whole Fire Velveteen Dream. But I don't know, man. I mean, look, maybe this was just Kushida going out there trying to settle a score, which is fine. But I guess we'll see how they push him in the future and see what goes on from there. But he was definitely beating the crap out of Velveteen. Like maybe Velveteen might be taking a little break, possibly.
I don't know. I mean, it's very interesting. I will say that it's just a matter of what they decide to do with him. Do they have him like kind of eat a couple of high-profile losses just to kind of as a way of saving face or making peace, or just kind of, you know, I can't actually have a loss for words for it, but basically just kind of like humbling him in a sense. If they decide to do that, I know he did win this week, but you know, maybe have him lose a couple of times and then just rebuild him or whatever. I will say, just strictly as a character, I don't really wish to talk that much more about what's been going on, because it is what it is. He's either guilty or innocent, and I would kind of hope that you could let that happen and play out in the court. But as a character, I do like the heel turn that he's been taking. Like he seems like somebody who could definitely kind of relish that, just being like kind of an egotistical asshole and just overly flamboyant and pompous and just better than you could. Almost kind of, I feel like he's in a sense their version of MJF. That they're both like young guys and they're both like has a lot of potential to build around moving forward.
Very different styles on the mic, but both still great in their own way. I see.
They're both very young.
Very young. I see where you're going here. I mean, I got it. Well, I don't know how old Patrick here is.
Like 25, 26, I want to say.
All right. But definitely, you know.
Give me just a minute. I am looking it up.
All right.
Doesn't beat me to it, but we'll see.
Well, luckily there's a lag for Antox and there's not for you. So you may beat him.
95, so I want to say 25. Yes, 25.
All right. That's for...
So yeah, I said 25 or 26.
That's for Dream. That's for Dream?
Yeah, that's for Dream.
Wow, then he was real young when he was on... Tough Enough. That's why, I mean, number
2015, so he would have been 20.
Well, number one, he was trained, which, you know, they didn't want anyone trained. That's one reason they got rid of him early. Mm-hmm. But, wow, he was only 20 on that show. That's another reason they probably got rid of him early. He was just too young.
And even they said Tough Enough began airing in June 2015. His birthday is in August, so he would have been 19 while it was airing.
Wow. Amazing.
So, yeah, I mean, he was real fucking young.
So he could have been 18 when they were recording this, for all we know.
Possibly. I mean, yeah, he was real young during that. He's really kind of developed. I mean, just as a character, like I said, just talking about him as a wrestler, he's developed quite a bit.
Yeah, actually, you said when it aired, so he was probably 19 when they were recording it. You're right. Yeah. Wow, man, he was young as shit on that show and still was good and had charisma and wow, 19. I'm sure they mentioned it on the show, but those were, you know what I was doing.
Right.
I was drinking.
I mean, and to be fair, what he was on Tough Enough versus what he became just as a performer, it's much different places.
Oh yeah, I mean he's one that you could say things happen for a reason, and there's a reason for him to happen. Because he definitely needed to go away and then come on back, and he's definitely shown he's got some chops when it comes to the mic and definitely in the ring, and he's just very, very good. So let's move on, if you don't mind, Smark. Sure. Not going to spend a lot of time on this match. It wasn't a long match anyway. Bronson Reed, no longer, I said this a couple weeks ago, no longer the thick boy. Thank God they got rid of that. He is the Colossal. He's coming out with the claw move. I'm liking this new Bronson Reed more than I liked the old Bronson Reed.
Old Papa Thickums.
There you go. Old thick boy himself. But I like this new thing. I mean, they just dumped the thick boy. They're just like, all right, the Colossal. No more. I mean, it was there one week, gone the next. But I think it was a smart idea. I like the Colossal thing. Just another talented guy who isn't getting any smaller, but he works damn good for a big guy, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad that they dropped it too, because for a while there, it seemed like every fat person that they had on their roster, for lack of a better term, they were just trying to turn into an Otis clone. Because you had obviously you had Otis and SmackDown, but then it seemed like they were kind of starting to spin Ivar into being like an Otis clone, and then they were trying to have Bronson Reed be an Otis clone. Like they just wanted an Otis on every show. And it's like, why? Every once in a while, you don't have to have every fucking big guy be this big dumb comedy act. You don't have to have him I like Otis, but you don't have to have him be Otis. You don't have to have him be fucking the Funkasaurus. You can just come out there and just be like, yeah, he's a big fat guy, and he's hard to lift up, and he can beat the shit out of you.
Right. Yeah, definitely can. And he defeated Austin Theory. Like I said, it was kind of a quick match, but definitely he beat Theory with his move, the tsunami, I believe he's calling it. Man, I'm like I said, I'm definitely interested to see where they're going to keep going with Bronson Reed, Austin Theory. I think those allegations might put him on a one hell of a back burner, if you ask me. Again,
he didn't really have much going for him before that either, though. Like his whole shtick was just that he was young. Like we said, Dream's young too, but there's a reason why people care about Dream. There's a reason people care about MJF. Just being young doesn't matter if you don't have any sort of point to make a connection with.
Yeah, absolutely. And Austin Theory, you're right. He's just not there yet. He doesn't really have much of a character. He's just a guy with just a ripped dude. Mm-hmm. A built, ripped guy. How many of those guys are out there? They're a fucking dime a dozen in wrestling, unfortunately. So you're right. Not really a standout. Nothing really to him. No really character. But anyway, quick match. Bronson Reed basically squashed him. You see, even Sasha, this may be the first time we've agreed that Theory does need a personality. Yes. My God, it's about time we agreed on fucking something. Jesus. Roderick Strong came out, and I tuned out. It was him against Killian Dane. Roderick Strong beat Killian Dane. Anyway, I didn't pay much attention. The only time I paid attention is when after the Undisputed Era came out, started beating down Killian. When Drake came out with looked like a lead pipe and started hitting the Undisputed Era, and then he still got his ass kicked by Killian Dane. What a douchebag! Come on, man. Come on. I know you're trying to be some big badass, but man.
He's a loner. He don't got time for no friends. I was a little disappointed because, I feel like that they could do so much more with Dane than what they're doing right now. I can't really speak to him being a good promo guy because I've never really seen him promo all that much. I don't think he necessarily is, because I feel like if he was a good talker, they would have him talk more. The last kind of on-air talking segment that I think we got out of him was him being really mad that Robert Stone drew a picture of him or something of that regard. Because there was that whole thing when they were doing the whole thing where they were trying to get you said his name, Sam Shaw. Fucking what is his name? Dexter something.
Loomis.
Yes, they were trying to get him over as being an artist, and that whole ththing happened with him and Robert Stone and Killian Dane and all that. So, anyways, yeah, that was like the last like kind of talking segment that they allowed him to be a part of. But yeah, I just the way that he moves well for a big guy, and I like watching him. He's kind of fun, kind of entertaining. I wish that they could do a little bit more with him, but we'll see what happens.
No, I like Killian Dane. I got no problems with the guy. But Roderick Strong out there, beating the shit out of Killian Dane. I know he got a lucky win, but there were times he was literally beating the shit out of him, and I'm just like, yeah, this is believable. Like, he couldn't fucking ragdoll Roderick Strong in 10 seconds, this guy.
Well, I mean, if you're going to play that game, I mean...
Well, I mean, and then... Well,
Roderick Strong matches, because I feel like if it was a shoot, he probably wouldn't win a lot of them.
No, and I mean, then his dad comes down, Roderick's dad comes down, old,
Todrick Strong.
Right, old Bobby, whatever he is, is that Bobby Fish, is that who that is? Yeah, and he comes down, and it's like, oh, look, his dad came down to help him, and then...
Oh, see, I didn't know you were talking about Bobby. I thought you were. I was like picturing just an older version of Roderick Strong with like a cane, gray hair, like his dad being just as short as he is.
Shorter. You're always taller than your dad, dude.
well, yeah, and then he's older, so he's like being dragged at hell. So you lose a couple of inches as you get older. Your posture starts sucking. It happens. It happens to all of them.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, a fucking Muppet could come out and be Roderick Strong's dad for all I care, but.
the blue one. I don't know what his name is, but he's like a bird. He's blue. Kind of looks evil.
Not the Grouch. Are you talking about the Grouch?
No, I'm talking about from the Muppets, the blue Muppet.
Muppets, the blue. I'm trying to think of his name. Gonzo.
No, well, yes, but no.
The blue one is Gonzo.
There's another one though. Oh, I will find it now. This
Motherfucker.
Is a real way to derail this review.
Muppets.
Sam the Eagle.
Oh, if you'd said the Eagle. All right, see, there's like, all right. Look how many Muppets there are. Look how many Muppets here are blue. Friggin', what's his name? Oscar the Cookie Monster is blue.
Oscar the Grouch?
Gonzo is blue, not glue, blue.
Gonzo is glue, yes.
Gonzo.
I apologize for how upset I've gotten. This is the most heated we've ever gotten during this conversation.
Gonzo might be glue by now. You're right.
Gonzo is glue?
Yes, Michael Smith. He was talking.
R.I.P. Gonzo.
He was talking about Sam the Eagle. Oh, God. All right. You know what? Before we kill each other over fucking Muppets here.
That got unexpectedly heated.
Jesus, you would think I mentioned Trump or something. Let's go to the main event of this NXT, which I thought was fucking really good. I got to tell you, man. I saw people bitching about this match. How could they put this last? Why wouldn't they have the championship match go last? What? I don't know. A steel cage match can't go last? What? Especially with this match, with these two, Rhea Ripley, Mercedes Martinez. They fucking killed it as far as I'm concerned in this fucking match, man.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match, too. They spent some good time hyping it because you had Ray cutting her promo towards the beginning of the show, and then Lloyd, you got a promo from Mercedes, and they're both like cutting promo by the chain link fence to show you what it's going to be like when they enter the cage. So, yeah, it was good stuff. I enjoyed it. I mean, and then they had the match ended with that big bump, the ripcord, I think it was, through the table.
Mm-hmm. Yes. With Robert Stone just kind of hanging there on the end of the ring, on the end of the cage, actually. But, man, and by the way, is this a new cage, or is this what the NXT cage always looks like?
That is a good question. I think it's the cage that they normally use, but I could be wrong.
Really like this cage. It's really well built. It's got those big, strong, it looks like it's pieced together, but it's strong. It looks good. It looks like it fucking hurts. And, dude, I don't give a fuck. If anyone bitching about this match going last, these two girls should have showed you why the fuck it went last. They went out there and fucking knocked it out of the fucking park as far as I'm concerned, man. They had tables, that last spot, like you said, and it was just I don't know, man. They were calling it the Battle of the Badasses. I can't fucking...
Yeah, that was the tagline. I like that.
And I loved it. It worked out for them. And she ended up doing Riptide right through the fucking table to Mercedes Martinez. But yeah, like Yannick Williams was saying, people bitch about anything they can nowadays, and I get that, man. But most of these people are people that if you say anything bad about a woman, they're going to jump to her defense. But then they'll wonder why this match is going on last. It's just fucking hypocrites, man. Anyway.
Well, yeah, I saw, and I sent it to your messenger. Somebody, they weren't even like using inflammatory language. They weren't even like, I hate her, she fucking sucks, she's awful. But there was one person that was just like, tonight when they were doing the 4-way for the women's title match contender, they were like, why is, what's her name? Why is Tamina in this match? And somebody was like, oh, she was in a backstage segment like 2 weeks ago. Don't disrespect Tamina. Like, what has fucking Tamina done to earn this respect? It's like, it's not even a matter of being like, oh, she's fucking awful. It's like, well, why is she in contendership when she's not barely ever wrestling? That's a valid question.
Yeah. Okay. I see it right now. Yeah. I didn't catch that earlier. I must have. Hashtag respect Tamina. Respect Tamina. Yeah. I like that. I like that.
Her name. But yeah, I mean, it's just, that is the thing, and I don't want to get on this whole big soapbox again. But like, you can dislike something that like a female wrestler does without being a sexist asshole. It's all about how you phrase it and what your actual gripe is.
No, you really can't.
Well, no, I mean, I guess in the court of public opinion, like you were saying, you get people jumping at your throat, but be that as it may.
Yeah, no, you really can't do that. You mean like be, I don't know. Anyway, honest and true. No, you can't do that. Can't do that. But yeah, like I said, I thought this was badass, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I liked it. I liked the hype that they did leading up to the match. Like the match itself, the spot at the end was nice. The tagline was cool. Like we're talking about Battle of the Badasses. All in all, it was good stuff. I liked it. Before we completely close up the NXT review, though, I would like to talk about the man who we've deemed your uncle, old Timothy Thatcher. He's got a match with what's his name, Damian Priest next week, and they were doing he did a promo. I really liked the way that he did it. He was like watching tape,
right?
And he was showing why one of the things he said was he left his feet. When you leave your feet, you lose the momentum. Like you're not in control anymore. And when he does this move, he leaves himself open to this. And when he does this, he leaves himself open to that. I really like the idea that they're putting him over as somebody who like watches tape and finds weaknesses and vulnerabilities and actually capitalizes on them, other than just like somebody that just goes out there and is like, yeah, I'm gonna beat their ass. Like it actually they put him over as being a smart wrestler. And I know that you're not his biggest fan, but they usually did a lot like that for Bret Hart when they would have him defending his title and he would win it by doing counters or working on certain injuries and vulnerabilities that his opponent had. Like I like the idea of just making him out to be a smart wrestler.
That when you leave your feet, you lose your moment. That's a Bruce Lee line also. Mm-hmm. That was definitely something he believed. Don't ever, the leaving your feet is when you're losing speed and momentum. So anyway, that's got nothing to do with nothing. But I did see that. And you know what we also didn't mention?
What's that?
The Gargano segment.
Yes. It was interesting.
It was, I mean, I've got it here.
It was a little confusing because she, going into it, Candice was putting over how important it was for her and Tegan to become friends again. Mm-hmm. But she never really mentioned why. It was just a big deal for her, but they never really, what was the end game of it? And then, of course, it played out the way it played out. I don't know if you want to air the clip that you're talking about, but it was really sort of confusing as to, what her motives were, and I don't think we'll ever really know that now, but...
Well, I've got the clip straight from WWE. It's about 4 minutes long. We're not going to play the whole thing. We'll play a little bit of it. Why not, right?
Sure.
Because honestly, dude, we're like an hour and 35 in, and we have one review and barely any news left. So, what the hell?
Sure.
Let's play this a little bit. Let me go up here, hit play.
Okay.
You know how I feel about it.
Look, just trust me,
I do.
okay?
I trust you.
Do this
I'll
for
do
me.
this for you.
Just do this for me.
No, speak of the devil.
Okay.
Jesus, that was loud.
I'll be nice.
Yeah.
I promise. I'll be nice.
Sorry, everybody.
Smile.
I'll be nice.
Thank you.
Hey, good to have you. Come on in. Come on in, man. Good to have you. Good to have you.
Looks like she came from the gym.
No pizzas this time?
Johnny, that was a joke. I didn't mean anything by that. I'm so sorry. Like,
Deeks, I'm just joking with you. I'm goofing around. Come on, up top, baby. Down low. Too slow. Hey, all fun, all fun. Come on in. Come on in. Yeah.
You're here. Yeah. Here, you can have my seat.
Best seat in the
My
house.
seat. There it is. Go. Good. Well, thank you. So, let's talk.
This is where the segment starts getting a little awkward.
Yeah. he like in this segment, like Gargano, almost seems like he is like playing the role of like a dad at a sleepover.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'll just leave you girls to talk about the Fortnite or whatever it is you kids are doing these days. I'll just go somewhere else, but I'll be here if you need me.
Yeah. I got to tell you, and yeah, Michael Smith, this does, it is cringeworthy a little bit, but I got to tell you.
I kind of think that's what they were going for.
Yes. Yes, they're going for that, and I think Anthony brought it up. Disney villain. Or was it you? Was it you or Anthony that brought up the Disney villains?
It's not. I think it might have been Antox. Antox or Anthony. But
Yes.
not I.
Well, Antox, Anthony, they both start with A. And there's an N and a T. So anyway, it was.
Gonna watch you walk this tightrope.
It was Antox. Thank you, Antox. Appreciate that. And you were right. That is what they're going for. That they're going definitely for that Disney villain vibe. Which how many times? Jesus Christ! This is the second time we brought up WWE acting like Disney. Well, actually, last time it was in their words, not ours. But yeah, Yannick says this sounds like the start of a really bad porno. I didn't know I didn't know there were bad pornos. It definitely got awkward from here. There was a salad. There was a dog eating from off the table, which is weird. They start looking at Johnny like, you need to leave. It was just... Michael Smith says, I couldn't cringe any harder if I watched Mae Young in a Bukkake video.
We'll just let that sit for a minute while the listeners kind of envision that in their minds. Don't get to go to sleep tonight. Hope you enjoy that, everyone. It's a very interesting analogy, though. I like it. Big thumbs up. Bring it on, young man.
I think I just started sweating. Holy shit.
It's one of those things that gets funnier the longer you think about it.
That is like better than any Jim Cornette. That is better than Slicker off Come Off a Gold Tooth right there. That's great. I fucking love that. Oh, fuck. Where the hell were we? The Gargano thing.
Oh, well. You're not going to get this kind of insight anywhere else, folks. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, fuck. I needed that.
I'll be hearing Dave Meltzer say that. That fucking fountain of misinformation.
Jim Cornette might say that. I'm not... anyway. Yeah, so again, the dog is up there, and the next thing you know, there's salad being thrown between... Johnny finally leaves and gets the hint, and then there's salad being thrown, and then there's wine being thrown, and then they start throwing... It really wasn't a great segment, but I get where they're going with these characters. I actually enjoy these characters, the Garganos, the Gargano way. I like it. I really do, and I get... It's almost like I give them a pass for being bad because I know that's what they're going for.
Right. Yeah, they're purposely going for kind of being unlikable, but not really annoying in the same way that like they try to make people do the whole Iconics thing of just being loud and repetitive. But I mean, there's a purpose level of like kind of corniness to it.
Yeah, and Michael,
like Gargano would be that's usually what Gargano did in the Indies too. He'd like call himself the bee's knees and cat's pajamas, and he'd just kind of be this kind of dorky, corny type dude. And he'd play it for heat. And he's one of those kind of people we always talk about how nowadays everybody tries to be cool, regardless of if they're heel or face. He's somebody that embraces being kind of a dorky guy.
Yeah. And Michael Smith, I don't give a fuck where you stole that from. Comedy's about timing, and that was perfect timing. So I don't give a fuck where that was from. That was great.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, man. I don't give a shit. But yeah, like I said, I definitely got to give us a pass every now and then because they're going for cringeworthy, crappy. It's almost like they're parodying Disney at points. So I don't know. I don't really know what. I mean, they love Disney. They hate Disney. They want to be Disney. They want to fuck Disney. They want to. I don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore. But I don't really have anything else on that right there. NXT. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. There was a Breezango promo, but I mean, that really wasn't much of anything, honestly. They just talked about how cool it was for them to be champion and how they're going to earn respect, and that was about it.
Like I said, there's nothing left to talk about. Breezango. You said Breezango. I said nothing left to talk about. I proved my point.
Synonyms.
Proving my point, sir. Proving my point. We can do a little news, or we can get into SmackDown. What do you want to do? You want to just finish up SmackDown, get these reviews out of the way?
I reckon.
Because there's not I don't feel like there's an ass load to talk about on fucking SmackDown, really. Not. Thank you, Michael Smith. I'm glad you need my approval on your jokes. I know sarcasm when I see it, motherfucker. But anyway, let's see. SmackDown tonight happened at the Thunderdome. Was that the usual start entrance, or was that a different one that I just haven't caught?
They've definitely done it before. I don't know if they do it every week, but I have seen that whole little thunder sound effect and the little lightning on the fucking video graphics and all that. I've seen it before.
For a second, I thought Undertaker was coming out. All right, I'm not going to lie. I don't pay attention very much at the beginning, but
I don't pay very much attention throughout. So I mean, we're on an even keel.
Yeah, all right. I honestly had a tough time paying attention to a lot of this. The beginning, I definitely paid attention to with Roman Reigns out there, with Paul Heyman. They brought Jey Uso out there. I liked this back and forth. Hey, look, I got a little clip of it. I wonder how long this clip is. It's off Twitter. WWE on Fox. It's only 1:17. Want to hit it?
Let's do it.
Let's hit it. I like playing clips and then talking about the clips. Let's clip it.
You don't have to thank me. We're blood. Years we've thought about this. Family, man. I'm proud of you. Our whole family's proud of you. You've earned this. Did nobody give you this? You earned this. You about to be in the main event of Clash of Champions. You about to take a huge payday home to your family, man. This is your moment. You don't have to thank me. This is your moment. At Clash of Champions, that's not going to be your moment. Don't look at this right now. Look at me. It's not going to be your moment. Like when we were kids, I'm going to whoop your ass. This has to stay on my shoulder for our family to stay where it is. You understand? Just like when we were little kids, I'm going to whoop your ass, and then it's all love.
It's all good, but we ain't little kids no more. Download the...
We ain't little kids no more. That's a good thing right there. Now, the payday thing, I got to admit, I wouldn't like that from babyface Roman, but from heel Roman with Paul Heyman, it makes sense because Paul Heyman is all about making people money, and that's just kind of what he's about. So it definitely makes a lot of sense coming from him, but I got to say, if that was babyface Roman, I would have fucking shit on him for the payday line all day. It just doesn't belong out. That does not belong coming out of a babyface's mouth. But like I said, this isn't babyface Roman. This is heel Roman with Paul Heyman by his side. So it made sense. It kind of definitely made sense. What did you think of the promo? And then I'll get into the next little thing.
Well, I mean, I guess D-Large here saying he likes heel Roman. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
What I thought was interesting was last week, Jey Uso had thanked Roman for putting him in the match and giving him an opportunity and whatnot. And then Roman said that it was all Paul. So this week, Jey thanked Paul for giving him the opportunity, and Paul says it's all Roman. So I don't know if they just I don't know if they did that on purpose, it's part of the storyline, or if they just kind of switch things up just because fuck it, why not? That's what they do. But that's kind of an interesting thing. I don't know if that's going to have any implication on anything moving forward. Probably not, but maybe. Let's hope. But that was interesting. I definitely like Roman as a heel, and I like how they're playing up on the fact that Jey is kind of the lesser of three people, not even just his tag team, but him, his brother and Roman. Mm-hmm. That he was since birth. He was saying that he never really got the kind of love and attention and opportunities that the other two got. So it's interesting that they're not shying away from the fact that he is what he is, and him being an underdog, him being a bit of an underachiever, that whole thing. So that's interesting.
Yeah, and by the way, seeing those pictures of young Roman Reigns, good thing he grew out his hair, because he's got one square fucking jaw, man. He needed to grow that hair out. It looks a lot better. But, yeah, we had that. And then another confusing part of this, though, Mark, was as they were talking right there when that video cut off, King Corbin came out and was accusing them of nepotism.
That's right.
He does know that Jey Uso won a match to do this, right? It wasn't handed to him. He
would know because he was in the match.
He was in the match, and I was just making sure before I went any further with that. So he was in the match.
It was him, Sheamus, Matt Riddle, and Jey Uso. So it's really weird.
Yes.
That they played that angle of it. I mean, I guess that's what heels do. They downplay their, failures or whatever. So I guess it's kind of all in the game with that, but it did seem very odd. Yes, I will definitely agree with you.
Literally, I'm sitting there thinking, does this dumb fuck know that Jey Uso didn't fucking he won a match you were in, you stupid fuck. That whoever wrote that should definitely be fired, because that was stupid.
It was.
It was stupid. I'm sorry. I know that's a bit nitpicky, but it's just it irks me, man, when they do shit like that, because that is blatantly disregarding. We all saw him win. I know it's heelish, but it bothered me a little bit.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I get what you're saying. It's definitely a lack of continuity, but that's kind of what happens sometimes, especially with them.
It's not even lack of continuity, it's literally lack of just, you're not even playing off your own fucking storyline.
Right.
Why? But anyway, I don't want to spend a shitload of time on that, but
right.
I just don't get it. I thought that was a really stupid thing to do. So there you go, Sasha Baron Corbin. We talked about your boy.
That's right, we did. And the promo was all right. And I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was great, but it wasn't awful either. So
no, it wasn't awful. Wasn't awful. It was what he was. Then Sheamus came out.
Fucking love it. I don't know what it just. He wears the most ridiculous outfits.
I know.
I feel like he does it for me because I fucking love it. It is such a great way to get heat. Because you just looking at him without him even saying anything, you're like, nah, I fucking hate this guy. He looks like a giant douche. And it's perfect. It's just the whole hat, the fucking suspenders, just all of it.
He's the Irish stallion.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Italian stallion, but Irish. He's the Irish stallion.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted him to come out there and try to do. Man, I wonder if I could do a Rocky accent with the Sheamus accent. You know what? I'll try that when I'm a little more sober. That'll go really bad right now, so I'm not even going to attempt it. But yeah, I mean, it was, and again, they're going to tease this. Roman's not going to beat down or turn on his blood, but he will fight him. We had Baron Corbin get, I guess suddenly now Jey Uso is a boxer with a hell of a right hand. Jey Uso Miro?
Apparently.
Okay. Just want to make sure you caught that too. Like, I never knew Jey Uso had a right hand like that. A right hand that actually knocked out a Golden Gloves boxer. So, man, Baron Corbin had a bad night. A bad fucking night. But Jey Uso did end up beating up Baron Corbin, and it kind of set up a match for...
Oh, and while we're talking about that, I do like the little line that Sheamus said where he's like, oh, I showed Big E where his car was, and he had a very unfortunate fall. I just love just him just being just a complete fucking dickhead. I don't know what it is, but just for some reason, his whole heel run right now is just hitting hard for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to put Sheamus over. But
I don't blame you. It's been a long and boring history. He's underperformed quite a bit in terms of just a character. Like we talk about, never a bad wrestler, always good in ring, but just really boring at times. But yeah,
the Irish Stallion. But yeah, that happened there. Baron Corbin out, so it did set up a little match for the main event, which was Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Baron Corbin and Sheamus.
That's right.
So that'll be coming up later. Which brought out Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles for a match. I'm not going to go completely match by match, but these were actually these parts here were actually kind of the best part of the show, and then it kind of started dragging after this. Jeff Hardy came out to defend the Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn was in the production truck trying to stop it, then finally came out after the break and did stop the match. Smark, what do you think of this little belt storyline? I'm the real champion, you're not. Not this storyline, but what do you think of them doing this again? I mean, we just had this on literally. Didn't we just have this storyline?
I guess in a sense, yeah. But I don't know. Like I like it. I like it in this instance. Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds me of the thing Flair was doing when he showed up and he had his belt. He was the real champion, and they had to blur out the title because it was like the WCW title.
Right.
I don't know. For some reason, it's reminded me of that. I mean, I mean, we're talking about it being repetitive, but I mean, he does have a point. He was the champion. He didn't lose. It's a little bit weird because, like, they're kind of having to pussyfoot around the reason why he, wasn't there because they don't want to acknowledge coronavirus and all that. But just as it has been playing out so far, I've been digging it. I like him going to the production truck and throwing a fit, and him being, pissed off that Jeff Hardy is listed on the match graphic as being the champion when he thinks he's the real champion, and this, that, and the third. Like, I just like Sammy just being kind of an obnoxious prick.
Yeah, and I think they're doing it a little different than they've done it in the past. And if you're going to do something different, I think Sami Zayn is the guy to use to do something different because that guy is fucking amazing. I'm sorry, dude. He's great. I really like Sami Zayn. So that is definitely fucking good right there. And I'm not always crazy about this angle, but like I just said, Sami Zayn's a guy to do it, and they're doing a lot of different stuff with this. like him being in the production truck and telling him to stop broadcasting, stuff like that. Pretty cool shit right there. But Sami Zayn did interrupt that match. But still, the match never really finished.
Not really, no. Like
No.
you said, Sammy got involved, and they're going to keep it going with the whole kind of three-way scenario of everybody trying to vie for the title, and who's going to end up being the champion when all of it said and done. So I like what they're doing. I don't know, like what pay-per-view it is that they're trying to have the payoff be at, but I think it'll be a good match when it actually does happen.
Well, Clash of Champions.
Ah, that's right. Yes, Clash of Champions.
This is literally a Clash of Champions, Smart. You get that, right? This is my God, this is the pay-per-view here.
I think they've had so many fucking pay-per-views seemingly in the last 2 weeks that they're all blending together to me with the WWE pay-per-views, the AEW pay-per-views. I just honestly did kind of pull back the curtain. I just completely forgot what pay-per-view cycle they were on.
Well, listen, as far as the big companies, we got the weekend off.
Yes.
Pay-per-view wise, take it easy, enjoy, because may not happen for a while. But okay, so does this turn into a actual one-on-one between Sami Zayn and Jeff Hardy, or is this going to end up being a three-way with AJ thrown in there somehow?
I see it being a triple threat. I wouldn't be surprised if they just kind of X AJ out of the picture, but I do see it being a triple threat if I had to make a prediction or a guess.
Okay, I see it the same way. I don't know how they're going to fit AJ in at a Clash of Champions. I mean, it doesn't have to be champion. I mean, someone's got to be going for the title. So, but this, even if they put AJ in, it's still a Clash of Champions, and it'll still be a fucking great match with AJ in there or not. You got three fucking great. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's damn near a dream match. Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn, and AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Intact saying it's the first pay-per-view AJ has been back for since Money in the Bank.
Oh, there we go. All right. Very nice. Like that.
Ooh, D-Large saying maybe a ladder match like WrestleMania 10.
Ooh.
You can get down with that.
I could definitely do that. I could do that. Jeff Hardy, though, doing another ladder match.
I mean, if you have, Sammy and AJ taking, the big bumps. But, I guess you would have to have Jeff Hardy take at least one kind of quasi-crazy bump, because that would be the whole draw of the match. But I guess there's ways that you could do it where he doesn't super kill himself.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Definitely a lot of ways you can go with this. I mean, there's tons of interesting ways this can go. So I guess we'll see what happens. All like we always do. I don't know. We had the Street Profits show up. This was not a good segment.
I love how they have, and I'm just going to admit, and it was through just me not caring. They explained once again they tweaked the rule as to why Raw people can be on SmackDown and vice versa. Before they were saying you could each superstar could show up 4 times in a year or something like that. I think that was the last kind of loophole that they were giving out. And now they're saying there's this whole quarterly thing where X amount of people can show up every X amount of months. They explained it on the show, but there's no point in remembering it because they're going to change it in 2 or 3 weeks anyway.
Yeah, I'm skipping that whole page. The Bayley thing, though, I did enjoy tonight. Bayley, once again, man, showing that, she proved a lot of people wrong because a lot of people thought this girl was going to be a career babyface. With the hug thing, with the kid thing, but proving a lot of people wrong that she can definitely be a hell of a heel. And she's been doing it for a while now. But tonight, once again, back on her own, when Bayley turned heel, they kind of threw her with Sasha because I think they might have been afraid that she wasn't going to be able to pull it off.
I think that's a rational fear. If you look at it when she first started, and we were talking about it, it took her time to find her footing. I think she's definitely at that place now. It feels a lot more comfortable, a lot less foreign, I think, even to her, to hear her cut those promos. And I think, if I can remember correctly, I think there was a point where she even said, well, it just kind of feels weird at first to be doing these promos after being that character and being the smiley, happy, bubbly babyface for as long as she was. But yeah, I think she's definitely found her footing, definitely gotten a lot more comfortable, and is kind of excelling in that role.
Yeah, I definitely think so. But I mean, came in basically, you thought you were using me, but I was actually using you. Here, I got a little 58-second clip here off this website that I'm looking at for the results. Why don't we go ahead and play it? Let's do that.
You pretended to be my best friend, but all along you were using me. And do you know how I know that? Because I was using you. I never cared about you, and I damn sure didn't care about our friendship. I used you every single step of the way. And thanks to you, I became 2 belts Banks hot, 2 belts Bailey Dose Strap, the first ever Grand Slam Women's Champion. And thanks to you, I am the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion. But after last week, you are completely useless to me.
Nice. Great. Now, I got to tell you, one more, and I think we've already talked about this. This piped-in sound is one step away from a fucking laugh track.
It's very divisive. I've seen people say that they like it and that it adds to the show, and I've seen people, like you were saying, it just kind of derides, takes away from the show.
Where are you?
It's better than nothing, I guess. I mean, I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I could take it or leave it.
Better than nothing, maybe. But if... I don't know. I mean, they try to turn up the booze a little bit here, when she got up and started talking, and they're trying. I get it, but I don't know, man. I'd almost rather them let the... I wish they could pipe in the fucking Thunderdome.
Like the actual people that are there?
I wouldn't mind seeing how that sounded. I know it wouldn't sound the same.
It wouldn't work. I mean, I think you know that, but like, it just, if you let the actual people that were watching along live at home, even now after they like kind of siphoned and got rid of all the people that were there to kind of agitate and cause trouble, even if you just have the fans that that they're going to act appropriately, there's still going to be a bunch of people like shouting and yelling this and yelling that and talking over each other. Just it would just be absolute chaos, I think.
Yeah, and Yannick has a point. They do need to learn when to pipe it up, pipe it, and turn it down. They really need to let some of the... I mean, like, when Jay and Roman were out there talking, I got to tell you what, useless. There was no reason to have that shit during that. That should have been shut off. That should have been a promo. They didn't need piped-in fucking sound for that. There's no fucking reason for it, man. No fucking reason for it. So, yeah, they do need to fucking learn. But to me, they're one step away from a fucking laugh track, dude. And... trust me, it'll show up eventually, and you're going to be like, "You said it." And I'll be like, "I know." Give myself an old Barry Horowitz pat on the back.
I'm not sure how I feel about this impression of me that you're doing. Is that what I sound like to you? Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they added the laugh track, honestly. But
no, really, you sound like this to me. No, I'm just kidding. All right, go ahead.
Spent enough time in the South. I get it. I was born in the North. I moved to the South. I probably lost that Northern accent. I understand.
That's probably how I sound to some people. Well, I'm actually, after a few beers, I do kind of sound like that. I ain't gonna lie.
There you go.
All right. I'm on number 2 right now. We'll keep going.
I will say that I did like this whole promo. I like she's really good at doing the whole swerve thing, where she starts a point and then you think that it's going to go one way, and she just kind of yanks the wheel. Because she started off with everybody's been asking how Sasha is and how Sasha's feeling, but nobody cares how I feel. You think I like doing that? You think that was fun for me? And she paused. She's like, "It absolutely was. It was fucking awesome." Like, I just loved that. Whereas, like, she was just so happy that she got to beat the ever-loving shit out of her friend. Like, it was good. I really dug this promo. I think it was one of her better heel promos.
Yeah, it definitely was. And again, man, I'm glad she's on her own because they kind of threw her with her right away. And, with Sasha, by her, that's what I meant with Sasha. And we just kind of never really got the feel for how Bayley was going to be as a heel on her own. So I'm glad they're kind of putting a little bit of trust in her to do this. And she definitely can pull it off, and I think she's going to be just fine as a heel. No problems here. But I guess speaking of heels, I guess we can get into this a little bit. Obviously, the next thing that happened anyway was Nikki came down while Bayley was coming down. You knew, if you didn't know Nikki was going to get hit with a chair when they focused in on her and didn't show anything from the back, you're not a wrestling fan. You knew.
They definitely played their hand.
They did. You knew. You knew exactly what was happening with Bayley. Had the chair in her hand. You knew. But anyway, Nikki did get back up. That's not even the part of what was going on. You had Tamina. No one Mina than Tamina. Alexa Bliss. You had Lacey Evans and Nikki Cross in a little four-way to determine the number one contender for the SmackDown Women's title. Had a good match going on, actually. But I guess the biggest part of this match is Alexa Bliss definitely is under some sort of Bray Wyatt trance. More dreads in her hair this week. I think she's got like one more dread every week. Seriously.
Mm-hmm. I think that's how they're trying to set that up.
Yeah. And, dude, still looks hot with the pigtail dreads. Hot. But I really think she's gotten that one. But she did do the Sister Abigail to Nikki Cross in this match and then walked off like she was in a trance. And I will bet $100 million that how many people thought when Bray Wyatt was introducing a new friend, people thought it was going to be Alexa Bliss coming in as Sister Abigail.
Right. Yeah, I think that was definitely what it seemed like. That would be what people would expect. Like you said, yeah, it seemed like that was kind of what they're trying to put on the table. It seemed like it would be a little bit too, like in retrospect, a little bit too sudden to just full on pull the trigger. Like they're making this much more gradual, much more of a tease, much more of a build. I mean, I think it will probably end up there, but at the very least, kind of only gradually. She's only like that, doing that, playing that role for a week or two before they have her snap out of it somehow. But yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, and I like the way they're doing it. I really do, and I hope they actually take their time with this because this is something they can actually get a lot of mileage out of. But Nikki Cross did eventually come back to win this match, but I definitely think this Alexa Bliss thing is pretty cool. And, been a lot of rumors that she will eventually be Sister Abigail, which I do not believe. I still don't believe that they're going to go there with that. But I think bringing her with Bray Wyatt is definitely a possibility. I see a lot of people saying it's going to be Nikki that ends up going with Bray Wyatt, but I don't think so. I really don't. I honestly don't think so. I think Alexa's going to end up doing something with him, but I don't know, man. It's I do like what they're doing here. I do like what they're doing. So, anything more on that, Smart?
I mean, yeah, I think we pretty much covered it. I mean, do you think that they're going to have somebody play that role at least? If not Nikki or Alexa, do you think somebody's going to play it for at least a little while?
I don't know, man. That's a character. I mean, they don't have... Most of the girls they have in WWE are blonde hair, blue-eyed. Mm-hmm. There's just not many... I mean... That'd be a great thing for Paige to do when she came back, if she ever came back,
But yeah, we talked about this before a little bit on a previous episode about how there's nobody there. When we were talking about Nia Jax, actually, in reference to this, but there's nobody there anymore that is either willing or that they want to kind of muddy up. Like how they had back in the day, or they had Luna and they had like Sherry to a lesser extent, where they like purposely made themselves look less attractive than they were to kind of convey a presence and an aura about them of being this kind of unhinged character. And you just don't get that too much nowadays because they want them to be like a million different things. They want them to have an edge to them, but they also want them to be supermodels and all this,
Right, exactly. And I mean, we saw that later tonight when we got this little another vignette for the mystery blonde we do know now. And dude, I'm going to tell you what, that hair looks a lot like Summer Rae's.
Not so much anymore. I don't know if you've been following her, but she's more like an auburnish color.
I do know that, but I don't know, man. But whoever this is, I'm curious to see it. It's definitely got that Emelina vibe to it. I know it's not Tennille Dashwood. Yeah. I know it's not her. I'm just saying it's got that vibe to it. I'm not saying it's that character, but it's got that kind of vibe. It almost looks like what they wanted Lana to be a little more, with the snapping her fingers and the the fur coat. I'm curious to see where they're going with this. I really am. I want to see who this is. I don't know how long they're going to drag it out.
It's just a big swerve, and it ends up being Charlotte.
That's not, dude. Charlotte's. You would know if it was Charlotte.
No,
I
get you.
I got to tell you, this girl has more curves than Charlotte.
Yes.
I'm literally looking at a still shot of her body. Charlotte does not have these curves. Charlotte is a 2x4 sideways and only
2x4 with like water balloons.
Only sideways and in the back. In the front, she's a couple of beach balls. But I don't know who this is going to be. I mean, who do you feel it could be? Oh, D-Lord, Sable. Mandy. I thought Mandy too, but remember, Mandy just cut her hair. Like, just cut her hair, Sasha. So I don't think it's... Thank you, Antox. Antox is literally saying what I'm saying. So no, I don't think it's Mandy. Sable? D-Lord says Sable.
I really hope that they're not going to do it, but I really wouldn't put it past them. Like... there's a part of me that gets this bad feeling that it might end up being Scarlett. Like, with they Cross being injured, they decided to just fucking hotshot her up to the main roster anyway. Like, I hope not, but could tell me it's impossible. It could be something that they would do.
No,
it would definitely be in their playbook.
No, that hair.
Thing, yeah.
No, that bleach blonde. That is Scarlett's hair. I think that's not Lacey, dude. That's not Lacey. Lacey was out there tonight. Yeah. That's not Lacey, Michael. I love you, but no. And it's not Carmella. That, I think you're right. I think they might be bringing Scarlett up since he's hurt right now and could be out for a while. There's no reason not to, because then eventually he can just walk in and go right up with her.
Yeah, it could be.
So, yeah, that... Smark, I think you just might have fucking hit the nail on the head, because I'm looking at that hair and those legs, and...
It's a character she likes playing. Like, she kind of did a little bit of version of that on the Indie. She definitely did a version of that on Impact.
The Smoke Show.
Yeah, that was one of their better things that they had going on there for a minute. But, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I kind of hope that they don't, because I would be worried about them just making Cross into a total afterthought, with, like, Cross being narrowed, since we brought up Mark Marrow in the past. But I don't think they would do that to him, but just it's a fear in the back of the mind.
Yeah, I think you got it, dude. I'm looking at that body. I don't know, man. If they would just show that, if they would show that booty, they'd be like, "Oh, that's Scarlett's ass." All right,
spot that from a mile away. That's 100% pure grade A Scarlett.
Well, I mean, we can just compare it to your profile pic, which I believe is her ass, correct?
That certainly is.
There you go. We can just compare it. We can forensically compare it to your profile pic.
I've had that for like 5 years at this point.
There you go. We could do that. But so yeah, all right. I guess we got a few guesses on that, and I think you nailed it. I'm not even gonna fucking go anywhere else, because I think you're 100% right there. Not even going in there. Fuck that. Just go to the next page. Let's go to the next fucking page. Let's just go to the last shit. Let's just go to the Firefly Funhouse. We did find out his friend was a parrot, and it was dead.
The promo wasn't really all that funny, but I just love the idea that it's rumored that they're trying to make him a face, and I think they might be. But it just makes me laugh that this is the beginning of a face turn. It's a guy who fucking killed a parrot on television.
Well, not only that, but Evil Vince came in, and holy shit, I'm glad Sportskeeda has a clip of this because I definitely want to play this.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Now, please welcome the new special advisor to the Firefly Funhouse.
It is Wobbly Walrus. Is this a Kevin Dunn goof? Is this a rib on Kevin Dunn?
Are you saying that you think it's supposed to be Kevin Dunn? Because I feel like it was supposed to be Heyman.
You think it's Heyman?
Yeah.
The Wobbly Walrus.
Well, he's chubby. And I think they've called him a walrus before, and I think the whole idea is that they're supposed to be like the rumor, the scuttlebutt is that Bray's supposed to be turning face, and eventually he's going to end up feuding with Roman to get his belt back.
Chat room is 100% agreeing with you. Michael Smith, Heyman, D. Large Heyman, Christopher Kane. Welcome, Christopher Kane. Said Heyman. Antox is saying Heyman. So yeah, I guess maybe I'm wrong, but cool. All right.
It would be great if they brought out like a fucking Kevin Dunn character, and then every time they show him on screen, the camera's just shaking.
Everyone in the chat room is agreeing with you on Paul. So there we go. I am wrong. And actually, even Sportskeeda said a Paul Heyman-esque wobbly walrus. I just don't. He doesn't have those teeth though, man.
Not quite, but I think it's more of just the fact that they're both kind of girthy figures.
Yeah, you know what? Kevin Dunn would be a beaver. You're right. You're right. Even more of a beaver. You're right. So there we go. So, all right. Guess we can quickly. I mean, we can get into the main event a little bit. And we pretty much talked about the Roman Reigns thing a lot. I guess the main thing was that Roman Reigns once again doesn't come out till the middle of the match, comes down, wins the match, and Jey Uso goes to hold up his arm at the end there, and Roman looked at him like, motherfucker, what the fuck are you doing? Did you catch that?
Yeah, there's a little bit of talk about that in the chat room too. It was just kind of the idea of more of like, don't you be staring at my belt, don't you be trying to touch my belt or whatever. Or even just like Roman practice. Somebody kind of joked around about Roman like practicing social distancing, like, yeah, don't touch me, motherfucker, pandemic.
Yeah, but I thought it was good. I mean, the match itself was kind of all over the place a little bit.
Right.
And then when Roman came down, he, did what he did. He won the fucking match. Like, shirt saying, basically, shut up and win. So, or show up and win. Sorry, not shut up. Show up and win.
Right. It started. There was like 8 minutes left in the show when it started, so you knew it wasn't really going to be much of anything.
Yep. Came down, showed up, won, and that was pretty much it for SmackDown. But like I said, the main thing I caught out of that was that last look from Roman was heel Roman is great because it was sometimes the look he gave people as a baby face. He would do the same thing, like, man, why are you touching me like this?
Right.
So this just fits. It fits his demeanor. It fits his personality more.
One quick thing I do want to touch on, it's not necessarily related to SmackDown, but since the ads appeared all over SmackDown, did you notice that they're really just fucking ham-fistedly trying to shove a new tagline in for Raw? Because it is now in your face Raw. Because they did a segment for all the matches and all the stuff we're supposed to get this coming episode of Monday Night Raw, and just like every other word they'd say in your face. And I don't know, like, I guess that's the new tagline.
Well,
it's not working for me in that regard.
Did WWE buy a new trademark? Let me see something here.
Because, I mean, honestly, like, if we could find it, but they were relentless. Like, honestly, they brought it up like 4 or 5 times during like a 30-second commercial.
Yeah, no, the recents they bought are Bella Army and Wrestle War for a show. Ooh, wait
When
a
you
minute.
said Bella Army, for some reason, I just pictured a bunch of people that were like had their face painted up like Kiss, but were also wearing Bella Twins t-shirts.
Oh, there you go. Wrestle War trademark. Entertainment services, namely a show about professional wrestling. Entertainment services, namely the production. So there could be a show called Wrestle War, possibly a pay-per-view coming up soon. So pay attention to the words Wrestle War, which would negate the reason they used for not using War Raiders. Anyway, that is neither here nor there. But there you go. Look out for that name coming up. Probably, I would say a pay-per-view, maybe a special show I could see them doing, maybe a Raw, something like that. We'll see. But anything
like
else?
Antox said, basically, I think Antox series is basically just them trying to make sure that people don't watch football this coming Monday, which is probably just the gist of it, of why they're being so aggressive with making Raw seem like it's this totally brand new, cool, and hip thing. Because they do have, this Sunday is going to be the first Sunday of the NFL, then on Monday night they're going to be doing a doubleheader. So the Raw rating, from what I was hearing, was down already. So it's probably not going to be great next week, no matter what they do.
We're some real smash mouth shit. By the way, I did like that they bleeped Vince McMahon going, "This is such good shit."
Yeah, I do like that they specifically played like a wacky sound effect instead of just a regular bleep.
Yes, exactly. It was, listen, man, they did just some good stuff in there, but I don't know, man. Like I said, that's pretty much SmackDown. Unless I missed something that you want to get into, let me know. Talk to me. Come on.
I think that about covers it. I think we can't really think of anything that we left out, honestly.
Well, we left out the Miz thing, and I did that purposely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I please just leave me alone. I ain't got time for that shit, man. Ain't got no time for that shit.
There you have it.
There you go. So, all right, we are done with Smacky Downy, and got a few more things I guess we can get into then, and then we'll get out of here soon. Real quick, since we just talked about ratings for what's that show, Raw, let's get into the ratings for the other night, Smark.
Right.
Tuesday and Wednesday, NXT ended up on Tuesday unopposed, doing 838,000, which is a strong number for them. Going around, kind of, I would say a little above their average right now. AEW, 1.016 million. 1,016,000.
They finally toppled the ratings giant that is Guys Grocery Games.
Yes, they did finally topple the old 1 million, and they did finally. Were they ahead of the of that?
I honest to God checked. Yes, they were.
Holy shit!
As silly as that sounds, I think it was like 12th or something in the rate. I don't know what was up with it, but Guys Grocery Games just didn't hold up this week.
Wow. Well, listen, man, I got to tell you, it was a great fucking show. And I mean, we talked about it Wednesday, but and this is something that me, you, and Anthony talked about back, a while ago, was will AEW hit that 1 million, that sweet spot, that 1 million mark? And I had said no. I don't remember what you said.
I can't remember exactly either. I think I was having problems with the idea of just that specific week, because we were talking about that, I think that was the Saturday show that they did that we were talking about. So I didn't think that they were going to reach that point on like a Saturday show or a Thursday show or a show just outside of their normal time slot.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I did kind of think that they would get there at some point.
And obviously they have. I mean, good for them. I'm definitely glad they did this. Now, if you remember 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had actually said I've changed my mind and said they're definitely going to hit it. I did not think they would do it on a week like this, but man, great for them, but I'll tell you, this may... I don't know how much longer we're going to see NXT on Wednesday nights. Listen, I know it's going to be very tough for WWE to concede, if you will, but let's face it, when AEW is hitting over 1 million and you're not, one of your higher numbers is on an off night. I don't know, man. I think you really fucking need to, like Antok was saying, it's the first time since October 9th hitting over 1 million. I think NXT really needs to fucking reevaluate the night they're on. I don't know about you, but these Tuesdays seem to be a lot better for them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like we said, we talked about whether or not it's actually going to happen is a whole nother issue. But I think it would be definitely wise to, at the very least, sit down and have yourself a good old long think about it. Because it seems like there's been more and more steam and momentum. Not that really means shit to Vince, but there's been a lot more steam and momentum and people talking about how it would benefit both parties if they were on separate nights. They wouldn't have to compete. They wouldn't have to kind of cannibalize themselves for viewers. And you would get both shows kind of flirting with, or, that 1 million viewer mark. And it would kind of help kind of bring both companies up, kind of make wrestling a little bit hotter instead of it just being, them both being 8th or 12th or whatever they are, in terms of demographics for ratings.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's I don't know. You're right. Oh, I'm not going to lie. I just forgot what we were talking about real quick.
Just whether or not they should move to
move to Tuesdays. Yeah, they listen, Vince is, I know he's an egotistical bastard, but when a business decision makes sense, it makes sense. And sometimes just saying, hey, let's just move. It's going to be better for us in the long run. Our ratings are better. We're not going to be getting laughed at.
Right. I think it's more important, or it should be more important to Vince to provide USA with good numbers than it is to have this kind of arbitrary battle with AEW.
Yeah, I mean, and
you know that the network executives, easy for me to say, don't give a fuck about AEW versus NXT. They want to see NXT in the best possible position ratings wise. It doesn't have anything to do with AEW. They want them to compete with every other show that's on television. I think the best way to do that is to not have them on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's only one word that matters to these television shows: revenue. Ratings is not the right R word to be using. Revenue is the right R word to be using when it comes to television, because that's really what they're about gaining. And yeah, I mean, listen, if you get more viewers, that's more eyes on your ads, that's more revenue your way. So yeah, I would think that it would be a much smarter move. And like I said, if Vince is the businessman that he says he is, I don't know how much longer we're going to see NXT. I could see beginning of next year. Let's see, what's the date for a nice Tuesday coming up in January? November, December, January. Oh shit. January 5th, 1/5. That's my son's birthday.
Very nice.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I could see them doing it probably coming in like January or something, but AEW ain't going nowhere. I can tell you that right now. They are not going to be the ones to move. And you know what? They shouldn't. They shouldn't. They were the first ones to announce they were going on Wednesdays. And the next thing in WWE is like, hey, we can do that too. And they did. So, I don't know, man. But I would definitely not change if I was AEW. And I don't think they're going to, according to Jericho. Vince needs to really just reevaluate and think business-wise, which I think he'll do.
I think so.
So we'll see what happens with that, man. All right. Let's get into a couple of little things here. You guys remember, we've been talking about this for a while. We've brought it up a few times. The lawsuit over the CTE that WWE was kind of involved in with over 50. I believe it was over 50 names. Filed by 50 former pro wrestlers. Some of the names in it were Snuka. Obviously, it was his family. Road Warrior, Animal, Paul Orndorff, King Kong Bundy. A lot of those guys. And
enough, we mentioned him earlier. I think Coco Beware was involved in that as well.
It doesn't say, but I think he was one of those involved in this. This was the case where they were all suing over the CTE claims. There was that one lawyer that was just piling on cases against WWE. I forget who the lawyer is, and it's not in here. And I don't even care to fucking mention this fucking shyster fucking ambulance chaser's name. But that lawsuit was dismissed. A federal appeals court dismissed that lawsuit Wednesday that was filed by all those guys. It doesn't get into a lot of the reasons of the dismissal, but I would assume just lack of evidence, man. I mean, that no one... there's no proving from that far back what could have caused this and what could have caused that, and if this caused this and if this caused that. This case was going nowhere, man, to be honest with you. But, yeah, yes, Michael Smith, federal court. This wasn't just, a lower court. This was federal. I don't see this going back into the system again. It may, if this lawyer finds some fucking loophole, but... Nope. Yeah, I mean, obviously, and this was the second time because they did go through a lower court, and I think it wasn't dismissed, but close to it. But federal court, they're done. This is done. You're not going to see this. They're not getting any money. They're not going to get any compensations, and that's it. Goodbye. Sorry. And they're even saying that if this this is precedent, is what another argument they were making. If you do this, next thing you know, the football players are all going to come back and want to sue the NFL. Hockey players, yep, they're up. Go ahead, Swark. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I there's a whole big thing, but there's definitely been some suits that were dished out, and there's been like settlements. They paid a lot of older players a lot of money the last couple of years because of the information that's been coming out regarding CTE and the kind of procedures that have taken place over time. But yeah, I see what you're saying. That it does set a precedent,
right? And NFL settled for $1 billion, NHL settled for $18.9 million. So yeah, there were definitely it's already come up, but eventually it's got to get stopped. You can't keep doing this. And listen, I know these guys definitely took injuries over the time. I get that. But it's just going to be, listen, there wasn't the testing there was now. We didn't know what we knew about CTE back then. And that's going to be a bone of contention with a lot of judges. So, and probably a lot of juries. So, I don't know. I just thought I'd bring that up. It's something that we've talked about over time, a lot of times. And especially with Matt Hardy's injury that we saw happen on Saturday night. I think it was definitely worth mentioning that. By the way, Smart, it is almost an hour past your birthday, and we have not said happy birthday.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's on the Eastern time block. It is 12:56, so it has been hour number one of my 30th year of existence. So there's that. We put out the pasture. I think I'm getting fucking old.
I have not heard a beer open. I have not heard a shot time. My wife did buy some vodka.
I did plan things. I won't go too deep in the woods.
Okay.
But we talked about it. There were some things planned that kind of fell through. So things got toned back a little bit. There will be a celebration later, I guess today, since it's past midnight. But
nice.
Things change a little bit when I'm second in command. I can't necessarily afford to just completely get shit-faced and black out and just leave you on your own. That would be kind of weird. So I'm being a little bit responsible. But yeah, thank you. Thanks everybody for that birthday wishes and whatnot.
Yeah, you could just pace yourself through the show like I do.
Like a reasonable, respectable adult? No, thank you.
Okay.
That's not get down. I am a firework, sir.
I just thought I would throw it out there as logic. I apologize, but like I said, I did think that this was something to bring up with the obviously the chat room is obviously jumping in right now, Smart. Obviously, like I said, I thought with Matt Hardy's injury that we saw this was something to go ahead to bring up. Just throw it out there. But you will not see this anymore. They lost.
Yep.
So, all right. You know what, Smart? Before we do that, you posted something in Messenger earlier about The Rock and Batista.
I sure did. I will go ahead and bring that back up here.
Yeah.
It's in the history. Basically, just to kind of set it up for everybody while I try to kill time to bring the link back up, the Batista is going to be in the movie Dune. I guess it's a Dune reboot or remake. I don't know exactly how it is that they plan on doing that, but he was kind of going on and doing a bit of a press tour here, and they were talking to him about, you know, other wrestlers that have kind of branched out and done movies. Of course, The Rock would be the most memorable or most significant of those people. But anyways, the article here, and I'll post it in the Mixler chat in a second here, it says, clearly Dave's gigs hasn't slowed down. He owes all of his success to himself, as WWE really didn't help promote his films all that much, especially in comparison to the likes of Dwayne Johnson and John Cena. It hasn't deterred Dave, and Hackney even took some shots at his counterparts in the past, claiming that they weren't very good actors. Here's what he had to say about DJ's roles compared to his own. The Rock was, in a way, a movie star before he even was a movie star. There's something about him that's really special. I'd never take that away from him. Would I consider him a great actor? Fuck no. I want good roles. I don't care about Fast and Furious or Bumblebee. That's not the kind of stardom I want. I want to be in Dune. I want to be with Dennis Villeneuve. I don't know how to pronounce his name. God bless him. I want to work with Sam Mendes and Jodie Foster. I want to work with Academy Award winners. I'm proud to be a character actor. I want that respect and credibility and education. This, of course, is coming from the thespian known as Drax the Destroyer. Mm-hmm. Kind of a little bit shitty to kind of thumb your nose at some of the roles he took when you took big budget action popcorn movies yourself. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not too sure I agree with Dave. Look, I get what he's saying. I do.
I don't like the Fast and the Furious movies and stuff, just for whatever that's worth. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, people do like them, and for some people they do enjoy them, and it is fun and good entertainment. But like, don't act like you're above that. Like, come on, man. You're in stupor. Like, you did the same shit he did. Don't try to act like you're better than him.
He also did that movie with Rob Van Dam. Listen. Let me. They're very close in the credits they have right now. The Rock has 70. Batista has 72. Let's just kind of go to the bottom here. Bottom. A lot of WWE. Well, we don't want to get into WWE, so let's go back here. Let's see. Wrong Side of Town was the movie he did in 2010. Dave Batista with Rob Van Dam was in that movie also. He did a TV series. All right, he was in that. He did a Riddick in 2013. He was in that movie. And then, he did the Guardians of the Galaxy. He had Drax. But he's also done a lot of other stuff that you've never fucking heard of or seen. And no one... The hashtag show? Oh, yeah. That's fucking, going out there and working with fucking De Niro and Pacino. Marauders? Did you ever hear Marauders from 2016?
Sure haven't.
No, me neither. You ever heard of Final Score from 2018?
Sure haven't.
Sure haven't. No. All right, let me go to the Rock's movies here and go through a few of these here. Rock's done. Let me go down here. Let's see. Let's get past some of The Mummy Returns. You ever hear of that one?
Sure have.
Okay. Scorpion King. You ever heard of that one? You know, jumped in there. One of Rock's early movies, Scorpion King. You heard of that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, The Rundown. You heard of that one, right? All right. Walking Tall, Be Cool, Doom. Gridiron Gang. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Great movie. Gridiron Gang. Serious part for The Rock. Actually played a very, very, very good part. If you have not seen Gridiron Gang, it is worth it. It's a long movie, but worth the goddamn watch. All right. Tooth Fairy. That's not really helping my argument. Okay.
There's some misses.
There's going to be a few, but I mean, listen, when he got involved in the Fast series, I don't believe there was any problem with what he did there. He's also done movies like Pain and Gain, Empire State, San Andreas. The Rock has done some better movies than old Dave is giving him credit here. I don't know what's going on with Batista lately, and
I would like to, for whatever it's worth, I don't know if there's like audio of this, but I would like to kind of hear like if he was fucking around or if he was just being dead ass serious. Because I mean, I think what he's trying to get at is that he would like to develop as an actor, and he doesn't want to be like pigeonholed or as just being like the action movie guy who just kind of spouts out a catchphrase here or there, and that's the most of them. He actually wants to be a full-fledged, legitimate, serious actor. I think he's trying to say that he's trying to take the craft seriously. But at the same time, like I said, you don't have to sit there and be the fucking snob that looks down on somebody who is one of the biggest actors in the world, even if he's not like a fucking Juilliard-trained thespian.
Yeah, I mean, The Rock is one of the highest paid actors in the world. And if you remember last year, he was up there in the top 10 of the highest earning actors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I remember seeing Batista on that list.
What did dude do to you? Like, The Rock is known as being one of the nicer, kinder, gentler people within that sphere of wrestlers.
Yeah, and you know that article puts out, WWE didn't do this for his movies. That I hate to say, but you're Batista, and he was the fucking Rock.
I see both sides to that, though. They really didn't do a very good job of promoting Guardians of the Galaxy, which is what a super fucking huge movie. It seems like even for their benefit, they could like kind of promote it a little bit more so that they could get the rub that somebody that's in this, big blockbuster, which it was even slated to be before it happened. I know you could look at it and just say that's hindsight, but like it feels like even for their benefit, they could capitalize off of his role, but they kind of underplayed his performances, I will say. And like you said, yeah, there is a big difference. He's The Rock, but
well, this kind of goes back to that third party thing we talked about earlier in the show, where if WWE can't get a piece of the action, why would they do it? So maybe they weren't able to come to a deal with that company, so they figured, why plug it? You gotta put that in perspective.
True, but even then, I mean, they're star fuckers. Like, they're star fuckers.
Oh, absolutely.
So
but
if they're able to get in on this hot property, like the Marvel movies, like we've spent the majority of the show, or not the majority of the show, but we've alluded to several times that they like jerking themselves off, pretending that they're Disney.
Oh yeah.
Like this is their opportunity to get in on that ground floor. They really didn't capitalize on that.
No, but again, you can sit there and be star fuckers all you want, but if you're not getting anything out of it, why fuck the star?
Yeah, I can see that point.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours, but if you ain't scratching my back, what am I going to do for you? So maybe that's why they didn't do it, but notice they fucking glommed onto the second one once the first one had a ton of fucking success.
Right.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I could be talking out my ass here, which I do a lot on this show, which is why I think some of you listen. But I don't know. I just Batista's just been kind of a pompous ass lately, and again, zero to do with politics.
while we're talking about this, yeah, and my thing's not politics either. This was long ago at this point because it was towards the end of 2019. Chuck Taylor had mentioned on Twitter that he went to a steakhouse in Japan with Okada, big star that he is, and Ribeiras didn't give him the jacket, and he was pissed off about it. Like, it was tongue in cheek, but he was like, he went to a steakhouse with Okada and they didn't give me the fucking coat. Fuck them, they can suck a big one. It's like kind of paraphrasing what he said. And Batista went on this long tangent of Chuck Taylor not respecting wrestling history because of how prestigious Ribeiras was within the world of professional wrestling, and it was just really funny. This was like again, I said, the end of 2019. He was already well into his movie career when he put out this tweet, which is what makes it funny because he's a big Hollywood star and he's like fucking giving Chuck Taylor, of all people, this is before he was even in AEW, I think, a lecture about treating Ribeiras with respect and dignity.
Yeah, Batista's, like I said, he's just been a bit of a pompous ass lately, but I don't know, man. I still like the guy. I liked him when he was in wrestling. I still like the guy. I got no issues with Batista at all. He's entitled to his opinion. Right, wrong, indifferent. I don't give a flying fuck. So, but I don't know, man. I do think that The Rock is just, like I said, he was The Rock. I mean, you were Batista. You were Deacon Batista. I mean, I don't know. Just, I see where they're coming from, but I can also see where he's coming from. I understand what he's saying, though. He wants bigger parts that mean more to him, which is fine. That's great. But when The Rock got into that Fast and Furious, man, it was hot as fuck. He would have been nuts to turn that down, because I'll tell you what, he might not have been getting the roles he's getting now without being in that franchise, because I believe all three of us have talked before about how The Rock basically walked in that franchise and took it over from Vin Diesel.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he did that, the fact that he was so good in those movies, shouldn't piss off a guy like Batista. It should actually make him think, hey, maybe I should talk to The Rock and see how to get into some kind of franchise like that, and maybe my career will fucking jumpstart from there. But no.
I know. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, but no, and I was done. Please.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to steamroll you there.
No.
I did mention it already, but I just want to read this like in full context, verbatim, just because of how funny and ridiculous it is. It's from August 15th, 2019. And it says here, former WWE champion Batista took to Twitter this week and offered some words of advice to AEW star Chuck Taylor of the Best Friends. Taylor made a tweet, which has since been deleted, and said Ribera Steakhouse in Japan can, quote, suck one, after he visited the establishment with IWGP champion Kazuchika Okada and didn't receive one of the legendary Ribera jackets. Quote, I went to Ribera with goddamn Okada and they didn't give me one of those coats. That place can suck one, Taylor wrote. And then Batista took an issue with Taylor's comments and told him to delete the tweet, which he did. Quote, my friend, I offer this advice in complete sincerity. Delete this tweet immediately. Our history and tradition with that place is something that's beyond your years. I'm asking you not to disrespect that over a jacket you didn't receive, Batista wrote. Think about how goddamn ridiculous that is. Like, for real, Batista, this is well off of the success of all the Avenger Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He's lecturing Chuck Taylor about, very honestly, tongue-in-cheek, jokingly being pissed off that he didn't get a jacket.
Yeah, my answer to him would have been, suck a dick.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of lost a little bit of respect for Chuck Taylor for actually complying and deleting the tweet. I would have just been like, fuck you.
I would have been like, yeah, suck a dick. I'm fucking joking, you pompous prick.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been me. But then again, I don't know. I'd be an ist for that too. But anyway, I don't know. I got no more on that. I just think Batista's being a little, I'm not going to say out of line. I see what he's going for. I definitely do. But you're right. I would like to hear the audio of that to see where it can. And you know what? I'd like to hear the before question for that and see where that all came from to even get the context of why he said that.
Right.
So, anyway, I think we beat that to death. The last thing I have, I don't know if you got anything else, but we'll find out, is Marty Jannetty. We talked, what was it, week 2 ago, about
Yes.
Marty Jannetty claiming he murdered a person for being a pedophile, which if he really did, I don't give a fucking shit. To be honest with you, give him a fucking, pin a medal on him for all I care. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. He's now saying that it was the beginning, Smark, of a wrestling storyline. Can you name me a company that would have the cojones to do a storyline like this right now, in these times, in these days, with this climate? Name one. Name one. Name one.
CZW?
No, they're not even running shows. Try again. Keep going.
What? They don't exist anymore, but fucking XPW would.
I think even porn stars have morals. Keep going.
Rob Black does not have morals. Come on, though. Let's not be egregious. I mean, yeah, I get what you're going at. The idea that this is in any sense going to be a storyline is laughable.
Yeah. He said, by the way, he does. Do I read this? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Do I read this whole post? It is.
God bless you if you can, based on his spelling and grammar.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 paragraphs. I am not reading this whole story, but the first thing he says is, I did not murder that man. You know what? Let me read 1 or 2 paragraphs. I'm sorry. And I'm going to try to, I'm going to read as he says. So anything I say is Marty.
One game for listeners at home. Go ahead and find this article, copy and paste it into a word processing program, and just that has spell check, and just watch your computer as it starts on fire.
Yeah. I mean, literally, I waited till now to pull this up in case it does catch my computer on fire. But anyway, he starts off, I did not murder that man. Jesus Christ, he sounds like Bill Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Anyway, I did not murder that man, he says.
I did not murder that man, but I did murder that pussy. High five, hands up, everybody.
I did not murder that man, but I did murder a pedophile that I was talking about. Anyway, it was just the beginning of a damn wrestling storyline. But oh my God, OMG, didn't the world buy it? Question mark, question mark. Exclamation point, exclamation point. I never knew it could be that easy. I mean, Inside Edition, who I'm a fan of, even though they slant favored Democrat. Oh God.
What a fucking aside to take. That is not germane to any point you're trying to make. I like how he just had to take a time out of being like trying to get himself off of murdering somebody to take a shot at the fucking liberal media.
Yeah. Anyway, boy.
This is wonderful.
Talk about a guy you don't want on your side. People Magazine, I mean, him and Sonny, Jesus Christ, someone fucking shoot me. People Magazine, TMZ, Fox News, that fake-ass National Enquirer. Well, at least you put Fox News in there. All the major news outlets out worldwide jumped on this story. It got so hot I had to drop it when my Columbus, Georgia Police Department got involved. I knew I had to drop it, or as my bruh Snoop Dogg says, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. LOL, loves you, Snoopy.
Snoop has no idea.
By the way, one more time, these are not my words. These are the words of Marty Jannetty. I'm going to read, I'm going to try to only read one more paragraph, but
my face hurts. I'm going to have to read this of the show because this is the most fun I've had reading anything.
All right. Oh, I even got pulled out of line at the Atlanta airport headed to Boston. My TSA security brothers, mostly laughing and getting autographs and pics, keep saying, "We're sorry, yo. We have to. You're red flagged. You'll be fine, though. We got your back, brother." And they did. Thanks, y'all, my brothers. All right, last paragraph. Oh, my God. I get... Oh, my God, this is gold. This is fucking gold.
Nobody is asking Marty Jannetty for a picture or autograph.
No, Michael Smith is not how I talk. I got calls, text messages from Germany, Japan, Australia, England, France, Scotland, Ireland, Africa, Israel, and I got one call from Canada.
Way to end that, Marty. Such exotic places as Africa and Canada.
It was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Holy shit, I did not even give them cake yet. Oh my God, I want to keep going, but I should.
God bless you, Marty Jannetty. May you continue to be as safe as somebody with your addictions possibly could.
Oh, fuck this. I'm just going to post this in the fucking chat room, and you people are privileged enough to read this fucking shit. I can't even.
My God.
When did... Marty Jannetty, you talk like you're a goddamn fucking 15-year-old goddamn high school student. Thanks for having my back, yo. My brothers in the TSA.
Shout out to all my homies working at Delta.
Oh, God. He's probably dumping cocaine on the floor for him right now.
Actually, probably would be why they would like him.
No, you never know. But holy shit. Hold on. I still got this pulled up. Do I have one more paragraph in me? Let me see how. All right, you know, damn, we're just at the 3-hour mark. All right, I got one more. I got one more in me. All right, but I had to let it go. It got too hot. I mean, I wanted to call the good people at the Columbus Police Department and tell them, nah, don't waste taxpayers' money, nor your valuable time. It was just a wrestling storyline. But my brother Gino, all right, Gino, said, hell no, lay low, because they might want to make the newspapers. Very correct. That's why, along with my dad, he's my hero, and my wrestling coach, Coach Ron Stube. There's three wise men. All right, that's it. I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Allow me? I want one. But all comes down to this. Yo boy, Mindhouse, still got it. The creator of the long-living, 28 years now, barbershop window scene just shook up the world again. And I wasn't even finished yet. As Mr. T said, timely reference, I got whole lot of mo, LOL. Y'all ain't even seen my 2-piece extra crispy. Dude, Jesus Christ. This is the most racist thing. As my homie Mr. T once said, respect your mama, cuz. Jesus H.
Well, just remember, and then he'll tell you about banging his Jamaican girl. Okay, so
He's the only person that wasn't related to him, thank God.
Shit.
Like, I feel like you should read, like, college kids should study this. For what, I don't know, but this is a piece of art.
Oh my God, man.
I kind of questioned whether or not this was a good thing to end the show on, and it's a perfect thing to end the show on. I do too, Anti says I feel dumber just listening to it. Yeah, we have brought down the collective IQ of humanity based on reading this, but it was a great time.
Oh God, that was good. Oh, Michael Smith said I turned into Mitch Hedberg for a minute.
Don't waste the taxpayers' time. All right.
Oh shit! Oh man, I saw Mitch Hedberg once actually in Miami. He was so fucked up. He was asking the audience to get us to scream out his act, so he knew it.
Honestly, like, I mean, even at that rate, I would still say I'm kind of jealous of you for that. Because it will forever be number 2 in terms of my top favorite comedians.
Yeah, what was one of his better ones? The donut. I bought a donut, and they gave me a receipt for the donut. I don't need a receipt for a donut. I'll just give you money. End of transaction. Okay.
We do not need to bring pen and paper into this. My friend asked me if I wanted a frozen banana, and I said no, but I want a regular banana later, so yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. What was it?
Escalators cannot break down. They can only become stairs.
I used to get high. I mean, I still do, but I used to, too. Oh, I fucking loved Mitch Hedberg. But yeah, I did get to see him with an ex-girlfriend of mine, and he was fucking great, man. But like I said, he was so... We went to the Late Show. It was actually at the Improv in Miami. And he was so fun. Actually, I do have an autograph somewhere.
Nice.
And on a CD. I've got an autographed Mitch Hedberg CD, and I will never get rid of it. If I can find it, I will take a picture of it and put it on the Dirt Sheet Dudes Facebook page. If I can find it. I don't know where it even would be, but somewhere I do have one. But that guy was fucking amazing, man. He was great. But, but he kept kind of going. He would start remembering it after a while, but we saw him at a Late Show, and he was just so fucked up by then. He just didn't remember his act. He was just drunk off his ass on stage, probably high. Mm. But yeah, man, he was great, man.
He really was, and like from what I've heard about him, he seemed like a really just genuinely good dude too. Because there was a story that has made the rounds of he was performing in Arizona, and these college kids. He was talking to these college kids after his show, and they were kind of complaining to him that they either didn't have air conditioning in their dorm or their air conditioner had taken a shit. Mm-hmm. And he showed up the next day with a brand new fucking air conditioner that he bought himself and gave it to him.
Man, I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that. He did seem like a genuine guy. Even after the show, he was like, that's how I got his autograph. He was out there. And I mean, he was swaying and stumbling a little bit, but he was still able to interact with the audience coming up to him and telling him how great he still was. Dude, like I said, he was literally on stage asking the audience to yell out just like bullet points of jokes to him so he could say them. And and we're all still telling him how great he is.
Right.
Just imagine that right there. So it was still a great show, and I'll never fucking forget it. And like I said, if I can find that, I know where my John Panette one is. It's in my car. I have a John Panette signed autographed CD also, and I have a Jeff Dunham Walter doll that is signed, autographed by Jeff Dunham also. And if you push the fingers, it says stuff.
There you go.
So, yeah, he gives little Walter sayings. I know Jeff Dunham is kind of a joke to some people, but I did go to see him. Like I said before, I used to go to a lot of comedy shows, but I got nothing else, Mark. I don't know about you. What do you got?
No, I mean, I think that pretty much covers it. We got through all the news. We got through the reviews. Had a nice meaty show. You said what we got, about 3 hours, or actually about 3.5 at this point.
Nah, we're probably right about 3, maybe 3:05 at the most. We'll see. We'll get these plugs knocked out, and we'll see where we're at. Once again, Smart, my first plug is once again happy birthday to you, sir. I hope you have a wonderful birthday today. Get drunk, get laid, and have a good time. But on that note, check out the High Marks, Cheeseman, Mojo, and G-Wiz. You guys want to check them guys out right there. The Metal Mitt with 2 T's Network, Mixer.com/Metal Mitt Network. Check those guys out. Sundays, I believe it's 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Mm-hmm. Every Sunday.
Every Sunday. There we go. And, of course, Bobby Anthem and Bobby Blades on the Inhumans experience. Definitely want to check those guys out. You can find them on Apple, all the usual platforms, and find them on Anchor.fm. I know they're there, and they promote that, so definitely check them out on Anchor.fm. And the Unscripted Wrestling Podcast, once again, they're on Blog Talk Radio. You will hear me on there soon defending my Jeopardy title, and holy shit, did I do good. God damn, did I kick ass. They can be found on all the usual podcast platforms, though. You can get them on, Stitcher and all that shit. And, of course, Stephen Milan, appreciate you sharing the show. Stephen Milan, 2 L's in Milan, letterboxd, POXD.com/Stephen Milan, with over 7,300 films reviewed. God damn, that guy is a maniac of reviewing films. And while you're looking at film reviews, review our show, rate our show, subscribe. Go to YouTube, subscribe there, follow us on Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify, Google, TuneIn, Player FM, Smart. Let it go!
That's right. Real quick, I will say just another thank you for everybody for the birthday wishes, and thank everybody for coming in. We had a pretty big chat room tonight. Michael Smith, C. Matt, Antox as always, Mojo, thank you for showing up. Yannick, everybody that showed up tonight. I'm forgetting a couple of names, but it was a packed house tonight. We always appreciate that. Thank you for hanging out with us and taking some time out of your day and sharing it with us. Much appreciated, much love, much respect, always. And then, of course, but if you're not ready for the journey to end, what I recommend that you do is check out our friends at the Planet Rack on Tour podcast. That is the Planet Rack on Tour podcast with Bobby Anthem, with Yuck Nasty, with Papa Dave Sincere. All 11 episodes are available to you. There's also individual story clips that you can check out. You got horror, you got sci-fi, mystery, comedy, anything you could need, anything you could want, they got you covered. Check them out.
There you go. All right. And once again, just to echo what Smart said, chat room, definitely appreciate you guys coming on in here and joining us. Again, you are the heartbeat of the show. I love reading what you guys say. It definitely keeps this show flowing the right way. Downloaders, we love you too, just as much as this chat room. But definitely come on in, join the chat room, mixler.com/dirtsheetdudes. Always remember to check us out here. And we will see you guys Wednesday night. Have a great weekend.
It's time to take your drunken ass home. It's all right. If you don't know what to do with yourself, take your drunken ass home.